We are here. Hey y'all, welcome to our Talk. You said we can't even get nothing right. You haven't seen us in about 3 weeks. You haven't seen us in about 3 weeks. We like to welcome you to this edition of Black Talk Radio on ONME.
Y'all seen Donald Trump?
Work. That's Mel's best friend, right?
That's his fishing buddy.
Yeah. He's
I guess he said, I'll learn you, darn you.
Quiet as cat.
You gonna bring up his name.
That's right. Let me show you. Oh, this has been a busy day for me, y'all. I don't know. I'm tired.
Really?
Yes. I mean, the whole weekend's been busy for me. And I think it was at our church, what we really call center. We had a movie. And then
I missed the movie yesterday. I hate that.
I forgot to remind you.
It's
Well, you know why? Because I had the West Fresno Democratic thing that morning. Then I went straight from there.
They still gotta go up, the actor?
Yeah.
Who's the president?
There. Larry Johnson.
I don't know him. I don't know anybody but you guys.
It's very diverse mixed club.
And it's West Fresno Democrat because there's like the
Johnson.
Yeah.
He look like me?
Not at all.
That's what I thought.
Not at all.
That's what I thought. That's why you said.
Are they different? Are they different culturally?
They are.
Oh, okay.
Well, it is what it is.
That's interesting because most of the Larrys I know look like Mel.
Halloween.
They're not at all. So anyways.
You hear that Halloween sound? This moment that voice.
Well, perfect. Now you can help us out to keep running back and forth. And by the way, engineer, we just started because some people that I know.
And we're moving right along.
Someone just got here.
What was?
The only reason why Jewell is late is because the person sitting in the middle. That's all I'm going to say.
That was then. This is now.
That the person sitting in the middle.
So what you were gonna talk about something else?
I was just saying
your
that,
church.
Yeah. So I went from there to the membership orientation meeting to the movie. So it was like my whole Saturday was taken.
Yeah. I missed the movie.
Yeah, that was a good discussion. Discussion. I know they can hear me now because the mics work. Discussion. I know we can send to the store. Anyway.
Yeah.
To get us some water.
I really need some water.
You need some of that water Jesus made?
Yes.
We'll
some of that fermented fruit. That's what I need.
It's a miracle. So anyway, my Saturday was taken and then my Sunday was taken up because we always have third Sunday is our meetings that we have. And I'm the secretary. So I got to take notes.
Okay. That reminds me of something, though.
What, being the secretary?
No. Have you heard her? Have you really heard her? Because I heard her last week, and she made me cry. And
I cry.
I must say, I cry rather easily, but...
What's she saying?
That was nice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the girl bad. I've been knowing that.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I knew, I've heard her because we've jammed together, but I never heard just her.
Oh, yeah, she can do it when she wants to. She always points somebody up.
I
already know.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Really singing so
There you go. See how
yeah, and I've heard him. I've heard him.
See how she did that?
And he is good. He is good. We all do that. Why do we do that?
Talk about her.
Never.
But see, that's true. That's true. That's true. No, you know what I really think? I think we need to go around the table because I've heard you and you're very good. I've heard you and my gosh, but we all say, oh, but so-and-so is, look, y'all, I'm a badass singer. And I think you two need to say that too. And then from now on, we can go back to being, oh, no. But you will never hear me say that again. But
I only sing when I have to.
Well,
yeah.
You people are missing out because these folks can sing. And his harmony is so good with his folkses.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Oh, anyway, so that was my point. My point, my Sunday was so taken up. I needed back here at 3:30. I had to set the stuff up. The stuff takes about an hour and a half to set up, get some of the news stories, and by that time, I couldn't go to the store. That was my point.
Okay.
Well, look.
At least I got some popcorn.
I mean, it does bear explanation. Because, you know, anytime my knees bend, I need, you know, something to imbibe.
And I was
preferably something strong.
I'm like, I'm just trying to stay awake. Anyways, how did you guys' weekend go? Last 2 weeks, we haven't seen you.
Beauty before beast.
Oh, Jewell, go ahead.
I had a horrible great week.
Oh, wow. Is that an oxymoron?
Well, I met someone here last Friday. My week actually started Friday. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, Friday before. So I met someone through Julia. I met someone. And she's helping me sell my house. And I mean, like that, boom, this chick don't play around. So that was fantastic. But Tuesday, I had this extremely frightening, sharp pain like I've never had before. I left work to go. I've never been to the emergency room for myself, right? I've been to the emergency room with other people because...
Did you call you, Mel?
Nope.
Because I was just laying there a lot of the time. And then they did some tests and stuff. Well,
you should have called us.
Yeah. And hopefully it was nothing. They didn't come up with anything. But I have never had a pain like that. So, you know. And then the next night, because I didn't answer my phone 3 times, my mother sent Fresno PD to do a safety check at like 10:30 at night. So I had to answer the door in my house coat.
Thank God.
You know what? I have to, you guys, just because a person had, no, I had called her, I had talked to her the previous day, right? And then the next day, which was Wednesday.
When she called, you didn't answer.
Right, but
you knew
I don't carry the phone around my neck, right? Because we have cell phones, right? People assume you're reachable all the time if you don't answer. So the phone is in the bedroom. I'm in the computer room looking for a house, and I didn't hear it ring. And she called 3 times and didn't get, now normally she'd call 3 times and not get me, no big deal. But I guess, you know, because of the emergency room thing. So then when she did get me, like 5 minutes after her 3rd call, she was like, Fresno PD is coming. I told them to come and do a safety, a health, a welfare check. So then I had to throw on my house coat, answer the door for Fresno PD.
Yeah, you did. I was going to poke down your door.
Talk about embarrassing. Yeah. That's what I said. I said, you know, what if I had been in the shower or something, they would have kicked in the door. So we had a little tiff because she's like, well, you should answer your phone. I'm like, it's not sewn to my person. So anyway, so I had 2 days off, which was nice. And then, the pain receded a bit. Okay. Not much though, it was really, and then I went back to work on Friday and guess what?
What?
My chest started hurting again.
Oh, God.
I really think it's, you know, partly stress related. Partly, I don't think that's the whole thing, but, so.
What did they say?
That was my week.
They just said nothing?
Did you do an EKG?
They did a chest x-ray. Okay. Well, they took a blood test and something, they told me what it was, but I don't remember. Something was elevated. Okay. So they thought it could be indicative of a blood clot. So then they did the chest x-ray, which was inconclusive. Then they did a CAT scan, and the CAT scan came back clear. Good. But I don't trust that CAT scan.
Why?
Because, how can I say this delicately?
Well, I don't trust anything medical, but I'm just saying, why is it?
Well, you know, it was in the big machine. It wasn't an MRI, but, you know, it was a big round thing, right? So I'm laying on my back, but I'm not thinking they really got a picture of my chest. I think they got a picture of my breasts, okay? And the pain was under.
Oh, underneath, like near your rib cage.
Exactly.
Left-hand side or right?
Left-hand side. So I'm really not convinced that.
That could have been air trap.
Could have been that. Apparently your spleen is somewhere over there. So I just hope I don't kick off in the next, you know, few weeks.
Kick off.
Yeah. And I do feel better.
Look, you need to get some pumpkin berries. And Whole Foods is cheaper now that Amazon bought them out, so you can get some.
Now that they bought out Whole Foods?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where I need to go to. Well, no, I don't have to go anywhere because it's Amazon. It comes right to your. I don't like drones, but now it comes right to your house.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think I'm fine. I think I'm just stressed. Some of it is very happy stress. Hope my house sells, but you know, the job is. You ever just really want to tell someone off? And other than, can I say the lady at the gate? Yeah. Other than that, I generally don't tell people off.
She's not watching the show, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Give people an explanation of what happened, unfortunately. I mean, it just shows.
You know what? It really, I think it was a cultural difference. I just think it was a cultural difference. You know, there are some cultures.
Better because I've been watching. You've got me on this Mad Men tip. Okay, I had to binge watch that while I was working.
I cannot catch up with you.
I didn't get any sleep because of it because I worked all night because you make me watch this Mad Men.
Mad Men.
Now watching House of Cards, so I had to binge watch all these stupid Mad Men.
Yeah, Mad Men is so good. But tell me it's not good.
I don't care.
You couldn't stop watching.
I think it's because I'm so intrigued how aloof the white population was at that time.
How completely in the dark. And you know what?
The death of Medgar Evers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Medgar Evers, the death of Malcolm X. They're like, who's Malcolm X?
They don't. And you know what?
So clueless.
What I love about that show is I think it's very true to life.
Yeah.
I think it's very.
It was showing that you know, in between the late 1950s and 60s.
Yeah.
They're just so aloof.
And the way the women are, I told you, I'm not a you know, I believe in equal pay for equal work and all that, but I'm not a women's libber per se. And that all these women going around saying how terrible men are and, you know, blah, they're raising these men, the men who run things. The women are raising them and then complaining about how terrible they are. Well, when you watch something like Mad Men, the thing I love about it, look, I'm just going to say it. We know white folks. We know them through movies and television and everything. And I realize some people are saying, you know, oh, movies and television aren't real. They're realer than you think.
That was pretty real for me.
Yeah, pretty, you know, it's one slice of life, but it's, so I'm looking at these women.
Madison Avenue, by the way, Mad Men is short for Madison Avenue.
Yes, for Madison Avenue, for advertising men. But the way the women react with them and everything, you know, it's no wonder the men took advantage like that. You know, everyone in the office is trying to get at Peggy, you know. I see why the men behaved the way they did.
But I see particularly, this was a race thing for me, because the fact that they cried when President John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
But they turned off the TV when it was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And they were
See, I got to go back and watch.
Go back and watch that episode. So
yeah.
It showed me the difference between how the white population.
Empathy and apathy.
Yeah.
And here's the question. Do you think it's different now? Do you think they're more aware at all?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
Tells you.
No.
Yeah.
What just happened? NFL player. Yeah.
What's his name? Ron Bennett, or I forget his first name, but he plays for Seattle.
And what happened to him?
Vegas.
Who got thrown to the ground and
they thought they heard a gun.
Vegas police.
Everybody started running.
Yeah.
And the police officer, you. What I do? And he said that was a wake up call. He was one of the ones that had been kneeling too, because of other folks that happened to them. But when it happened to him, I was just thinking, man, am I going to see my kids again? Am I going to see my wife? Is this guy going to kill me?
Now, see, you and Lennis, I mean, we know that. We're not surprised in the least. Do you think if you picked any one of your white friends, and mine too, and I love them, if you picked any one of them, do you think they've heard about this? Do you think it registered with them at all?
I know some guys that are connected to athletics, to white friends that I know, so they probably would have heard about it.
If they're connected to
Did it connect to, I mean, did they, even, I'm not saying that they expressed, you know, oh, I'm just saying, like right now, they're discussing Trump, and they're discussing The Bachelor, and they're discussing, you know, are they discussing this at all, do you think? Because I'm guessing not.
I think to some degree they are talking about it.
You think?
I don't know.
I would be impressed because I think it's just like Julia says about, yeah, turn the channel,
Yeah,
watch something else.
Who's that? Okay. And it's
Yeah.
like a small 10-second blurb.
Yeah. And how could you be in New York
In New York.
and not know who Malcolm X is?
Yeah.
How could you be in New York at that time and not know who Malcolm X is, white or not?
My folks didn't know who he was.
Yeah, and that's amazing. That's amazing. But
he died in the episode. So it just shows me how ignorant I was to understanding maybe what my parents went through or what my grandparents went through is deeper than what we realized.
yeah. And has the black secretary come yet?
Yeah, and that's a problem. I'm mad about that too.
Yeah.
So now it's like they're third-class citizens. So
Yeah.
I think people need to understand what even black women or black men in general too.
Oh,
went
definitely
through,
black men.
especially in the 1950s and 60s when it came to just getting a job. And it just makes I don't know. I get angry sometimes when I'm watching that. And
Yeah.
They have in the episode where it's a black man robbing the
Roger and
that bothered
Joan.
me because now it's like they're putting these implications where these white people are scared of the black people throughout the whole entire season as it goes all the way from season 1 to 7. But then I have to not get mad because the director who did that was trying to show us this is where
What it was like.
This is what it was like. This is what it was.
Yeah.
So,
And still is.
Because you asked me earlier about are any of my friends, paying attention, and I said, well, I think this. But then immediately after that, what happens to the girl from ESPN? The president, Sarah Sanders, says from the podium there, saying that this is a fireable offense.
Yeah.
What? And then you look at how many times has the president called black people racist,
Right.
including the president of the United States,
Including,
yeah. Yeah, so, but no.
And talking about Black Lives Matter, and there's good people, and you guys know, because we talked about this last time. I think that, I won't even go into the past discussion, that'll be digressing, but.
Wrong, yeah.
But, so there might be decent people at the Klan rally, but all of Black Lives Matter is just a bunch of racists. So, yeah.
Because he tweeted again.
But really, when you think about it, that is really quite a frightening thing. First of all, that the fool is right. He is supposed to be dealing with the dude with the bad haircut in Korea, and here he is tweeting about a private citizen who happens to be an employee of ESPN, making a remark on her private Twitter account. If that's not chilling to you people, I don't know what is.
Surprising.
It's not surprising, but I think because these things happen, people are not paying attention.
The heat is on. This guy here is the walls are closing around him. Look at everybody now who's being questioned or being called in to testify. Everybody got some goods on him. If you pay attention to what some of the Rachel Maddow in particular has laid out, all of the folks who are around him, there's 17 people that have resigned that have been around him since he's been president, and all of the business dealings that have been going on, even before he got in the White House, and then after he got in the White House, that he says he has no clue of. You find out that all of it, and I think the folks, the system knew this all along. This was their ace in the hole to see how he was going to act. And Democrats are some crafty people.
Crafty is the word.
They could have laid it out early, but you know what they're doing? Let it die. Let's drop him. Let's make sure we get everybody's attention when it's time. Because they understand American attention span is very.
Yeah, but do you think it's them? I don't think it's just them.
Yeah, it's Democrats. They want control. Because have they shared a plan of what they plan to do?
No, but I don't think they're the ones letting little tidbits of information. If it weren't for Rachel Maddow, and the commentators are the ones, not the elected officials, Democrat or otherwise.
Did you see her interview Hillary Clinton the other day?
Yeah, and I think
softball.
I would listen to Rachel Maddow before I would listen to Hillary Clinton.
Well, I'm saying.
Well, Hillary has a book that came out. I don't know how we got to national. We just totally skipped all the little things. We're supposed to be talking about ourselves.
Yeah, we're back talking about the stuff. There's a lot of good local stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of local stuff we want to talk about.
Ooh, okay.
Hillary's book, though, that came out, What Happened. And I know.
Yeah, I know. That is people talk about Black Lives Matter was not good branding, not good title. What happened is really not good. I know she means what happened, she's explaining, but it sounds more like, what happened?
Yeah.
I was a shoo-in. We sabotaged Bernie. We were running against a clown. What happened? That's what I think of.
Well, you know, ironically, on The View, she did feel that Bernie had some fault because he was still crucifying her, as she puts it, even during the campaign, and she was not trying to have a mudsling fight, but she did say.
How did he crucify?
Yeah,
Well, because he was doing the mudslinging and all the bad talk.
He wasn't slinging any.
Well, I mean,
she says that, I know.
That's what she said.
He was talking about issues that she should have been
Exactly.
promoting, and she chose
Exactly.
not to.
Right.
So
But-
she felt like that's bad mouth?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
well.
she said that, you know, it was just supposed to be a equitable campaign, and she feels I'm just telling you what the law
Yeah.
said.
But I understand
okay?
the Democratic Party had a finger on the scale.
Right.
Exactly.
But
That's why.
What she also said was, historically, what people need to understand is that when you've had 2 terms of a Democratic president, it would be unusual for there to be like another term for Democratic.
That's true.
So she did say that.
Yeah, it's very seldom
That's
that either party,
That's what she said.
that a 2-term president, that the next president is frequently of the other party, not regardless of which party it is.
That's
No.
an excuse.
Is it? Okay. She
Ran against Donald Trump. And she couldn't beat him. So what did she
So what
do
does that
wrong?
mean, is what you're saying?
It could have been another Democrat following a Democrat.
Well, and
Man, please, come on.
I gotta say, see, and again, here's another example of why, you know, they complain about how the men are. Black women, if anything, we maybe could soften a bit.
Right.
But you know what, I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this theme about the angry black women. Black women are not angry. Black women are opinionated and to the point. And white folks, male and female, white women, white men, they're not used to that. So when you speak up, whether it's for yourself or about an opinion, you appear angry. One thing that really sort of tickled me that Hillary said, and then also, you know, made me question her abilities. She said she wished she had said something to Trump when he was doing that shark thing behind her.
Yeah.
Stopping her.
But, you know, she didn't do anything. I bet you if it had been Carol Moseley Braun or Barbara Lee, yeah, they would have said, "Excuse me, Kamala Harris, would you please go to your corner? I know we're on national TV. He needs to take his ass where he's supposed to be." That's why white men are the way they are. I'm telling you, white women, you need to tighten it up. You need to maybe get a little angry.
Yeah, a little bit angry. So Mel, what have you been doing the last 3 weeks, and also your summer and all that
Nothing.
stuff?
Now let's move right along.
Look how
You know what? That's suspicious.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's suspicious. I feel like
Yeah, what, you been moving bodies or what? Because when you just don't
it's like that new show.
ask me. Just move on to the next person.
Nothing to see here.
You know where Jimmy Hoffa is?
You can't even tell me any about the good black shows that came out or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Didn't watch it. Haven't
Okay, well, okay. What about Roland Martin? What's been in the news for Roland Martin?
Oh, he's on 2 hours now.
But that doesn't tell us what Mel has been doing. Oh, you've been watching Roland Martin.
Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning watching Roland Martin. And saying I'm just going to record it and I'll go back to sleep. But man, you start because he can be real. You know,
Yeah.
he can just, boy, he raw. He can.
You make me.
When you get someone that one of the Republican co-hosts, not co-hosts, but guests that he has on. Oh, he loves roasting them. Oh,
Really?
man, he just loves it. But they do it in a manner that at the end of the day, you know that they're, because some of them are repeat.
He's on TV One.
Yeah, TV1.
Yeah, that's one reason to get cable. I wish TV One had a streaming channel.
Well, we have on our app. I mean, we just play it after it airs.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what,
true.
You know, that it's still fresh, even if it's after there, because you know it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's early anyway. That's still early.
But I've been doing that. I'm watching, you know, Dick Gregory lost him. We talked about that last time, and they had a special ceremony. I guess it's coming up this week.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's going to be something special for him. And basically, just trying to stay below the radar screen and watching all the dynamics of our local issues that are moving, and wondering why.
We'll definitely talk about the local stuff.
Yeah, buddy, because I'm telling you, all of these brilliant
All kinds of stuff going on.
people that have it all figured out, and you know,
Yes, they do.
scientifically, this is
Yes.
how this works.
Yep.
Have ignored the basic formula.
Oh, you guys got to catch me up.
Okay.
So I was like, okay.
People don't even live here controlling your vote.
Oh, yeah.
These unions pulling somebody in from out of town to tell you how to get somebody elected in the local community. Man,
Well,
I'm so sick of these
wait a minute.
$3 bills.
Okay, we'll go back. We're going to talk about this, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got to be careful when you start talking about the unions.
Why?
Because if we didn't have them, we'd be a lot worse off. That's not to say that they're without blame. I'm just
must
saying,
check
you know,
them to
they.
keep them on the right path.
That's true. I agree with that.
They out of control like everybody else that's got power.
I do agree with that.
So, you know,
Just remember, they did bring us the weekend and the 40-hour work week. We would not have that.
And this is now.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
I don't know how many of those rooms now that would have people look like me helping to make decisions in these unions? Oh, not many? Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to keep talking like I'm talking.
Is that what it is? Okay. Oh, the block thing? Okay, so you skipped Valley Black Talk?
Oh, we on break already?
No, we were
okay.
talking about upcoming events, but the problem is you guys were talking during.
Oh, I thought you were, you know.
Okay, so
Okay.
just letting people know if you see on your screen, yeah, see, we kind of got a new flavor there. Yeah, that's what this is.
That's going to be in that big screen behind us, right? Oh, okay. All
This
right.
is what it looks like. So if you see, now we're on Sundays every week.
Woo.
You can watch us from 6 to 8 p.m. If you download the app, which is free, you can always watch it anytime, anywhere. You can also download it in the iTunes store, Apple store, and then eventually it'll be in the Android store. So we've been working, trying to make sure that you have what you need. Next we have is the Block Fresno, which is a mixer. I'm heard it's very popular. They've got mentoring, building relationships, philanthropy. That is on Tuesday of this week. That's Tuesday the 19th coming up. And so you want to check that out. Oh, I can't see like where it's at. Man, where's that block mixer at? I couldn't see the
On the block?
funny guy.
Standard Lounge.
Standard Lounge, okay.
Where's that at?
Way out there, the north of Fresno, right?
Oh, wait a minute.
What time is it at? Tuesday. I didn't make this right. Tuesday from 5:30 to 8 o'clock at the Standard Lounge and Restaurant, September 19th.
North, not northwest.
No, that's like north. Isn't that more northeast?
Yeah.
Are there black folks out there?
Right over by,
No. That's where they
by
have it.
Champagne.
Yeah.
And Herndon.
Yeah,
But
that's where
it's-
H announced his run for.
Fine, that's right. But you know what? A lot of black people going to this thing, so.
Okay, well that's good.
Those are two upcoming events, that I have. So those of you, here's my thing. So, some people were sending me to my personal email upcoming events. That
You
were gonna be
still
the
get
next
that?
day.
Oh, that's not enough time?
No, not enough time. Okay, we'll let you know it's not enough time. So those of you who are trying to get it out in our email that goes out, our email subscriber list that goes out. Give us some time. Can you give it to us a week before, especially if the event is the next day? It's hard for us to put that in any of our emails, and we want to make sure we're promoting those nonprofit events and events that are going to be
Community
showcasing
sensitive.
kids. Right. Like I know that Reverend Floyd Harris had the Freedom School. They had their end of the summer sale, and we highlighted them in the ONME network, but it was too late. He gave it to me the day before it was.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't get to cover it or anything. It was just too late. But we covered it in the news, so hopefully you guys get a chance to look at that. Also for the ONME network, the print edition comes out for September, comes out tomorrow. If you didn't look at August, then you can download that PDF and look at that. I can't tell you guys, I'm tired. I can't even think of what you call it.
Newsletter?
The newsletter that I usually send out. It's 12 pages.
Jewell?
I look at it.
There's a lot of news and stuff that's come out, so hopefully people look at that and download it. We covered the eclipse. Hopefully you got to see the eclipse. I told you I was going to look at the eclipse. Didn't I say? I'm going to look at the sky. I said, I'm going to look at it. Didn't remember?
Can you see me right now? Do I have a halo?
Well, you know what? So a lot of people, after that, after the eclipse, a lot of people had to go to the doctor because it imprinted in their eye. Did you hear about that? The eclipse part it was imprinted, and you can't get that fixed. You can't.
So you see a little sun, like even when you do now, like you look away, but it fades. So people it wasn't fading.
It's not fading. So a lot of people went to the doctor. Now I was smart. Even though the camera's a little bit shaky, you can still see the gist of the eclipse. I did like this. I put it over my head.
Yeah.
For a second, and I looked over my head. That's what I did.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it did happen. It was dark here, and so I let people see the difference, and I filmed behind me so they could see it. And then, bam. It didn't go dark over here.
Yeah, we didn't have whatever they call it. Totality, yeah.
So probably a good thing we didn't.
But it did, look like a cloudy day.
Yeah. It was it was very. You could see the sun, even though you're not supposed to look at it. You can see it very more defined.
And then you and I have to talk.
About the eclipse? Oh,
no, about that other thing. That morning, I was looking up, as I frequently am, in the yard, and there was a plane, of course, with a chemtrail. That's all. I mean, I see them all the time now. And then it poured like Louisiana. That, Wednesday, or was that Thursday? I could not believe it. And then I thought, oh, yeah, well, there were chemtrails this morning. So I don't know what they're doing to the atmosphere, y'all, but that was a freakish rain. That was a real freakish rain.
That's when it was like thunder and lightning the other day?
Monday.
That was Monday, right?
No.
That was last week.
No, it wasn't Monday. It was either Wednesday or Thursday. I went to DeChico's that night, and I was off Wednesday and Thursday, and it was one of those 2 nights.
All I know
but I don't remember.
My brother and sister-in-law, I'm like, what the heck? Oh, and the lights
yeah.
I'm like, oh, no.
And I mean, that was.
Lights did not go off of me today. I have too much work to do.
Yeah, and it was real lightning.
Them lights, yeah, it was too freakish. Because if we look at Irma, and if we look at talking about the storms, Harvey,
yeah,
because my niece got stranded in that flood.
Oh yeah.
And so if we look at that, the way it was so back to back, and they were bigger than usual. That's what they kept talking about, right? I really think that because there are weatherization secret ops, but even on coast to coast.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah.
That's real. As far as these weatherization secret groups, it's real.
And all those chemtrails, everything they're putting in the atmosphere. I'm telling you guys, it ain't by mistake.
I think Irma was created to get rid of a lot of black people.
Or at least it was made much worse. If it wasn't, it may have been naturally occurring, but
it got. But they're not talking about in the Caribbean islands and in the Virgin Islands, which is U.S. territory, by the way. They didn't really come out and talk about all the damage. Now, my cousin...
And Puerto Rico.
Okay, and Puerto Rico and Cuba. So my cousin, whose son lives out there, was trapped, had been stuck down there, and she was worried to death because her son was saying everything was just demolished. Wow. But nobody's talking about that.
Yeah.
I understand Florida got heavy.
I know. All we hear is Florida and Texas. We're not hearing about... And the others are U.S. territories, like you say. Yeah.
And Puerto Rico got hit bad.
Yeah.
And so I had to watch the channels in Spanish. If you watch it in Spanish or like the Haiti channels, Haiti, that's how you say it in English, sorry. If you watch their channels, they show more of the destruction.
Yeah.
Especially the Spanish channel.
And the BBC. Yeah, the Spanish channel, I
show it. They show more of what's happening in the Caribbean islands and demolished.
Yeah.
Wow. And those are most black people. I have to say that so you understand. Like 85 to 90% black people are on those islands.
Yeah.
And so her son was out on the streets. Everything.
Does he live there or was he visiting?
His dad lives there.
Okay.
So I don't even hear what happened to his dad. I didn't hear anything. So I'll have to. I didn't want to ask that because it was such an intense time. No flights were going out. Yeah. The ships that were rescuing people were only rescuing certain groups. So they rescued like the Canadians. They sent out special flights for the Canadian visitors that were there and got them out of there. Then people that were U.S. citizens from the United States, they got them out of there. But we're still talking about U.S. territory.
I know. You wouldn't know it, but
we have to talk about that.
It is U.S. territory.
They didn't talk about Trump going down there, but the French president went down there.
Yeah.
For the French territories over there in the islands. And people need to know it's about 85 to 90% black, those areas. Just because they speak a little bit of a different accent, they're still just like me and you. And I was worried about that, if there's really an effort, a genuine effort that's going to help people that are in those territories.
They're screwing Puerto Rico right now, way before the storm. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry, Puerto Rico. I don't think you're going to get much help.
Yeah. On end. I don't think people realize that. That in Cuba, the water was up to here, and it's just flooded in North Cuba. And so, and I'm looking at these storms from Harvey, the other one, Katrina, or something like that. Katrina.
No, I think they retired Katrina.
There was another, not Katrina, excuse me.
There's Harvey, Irma.
Another K.
Yeah, you're, And then Jose and
Jose was on his way, hitting the East Coast, and then there was another one.
Katia? Is it Katia?
Katia. That's what
Isn't that the okay.
Out, and then there's these other ones that are brewing right now, and it's supposed to hit the
There's like
island.
3 of them.
So I mean, it's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The tourist attractions, how they make their money. We have a bigger problem than what we think.
A way bigger problem.
And I was really bothered by it.
So you're saying those are all man-made?
Yes.
Or at least greatly influenced.
because
I mean, we've always had storms,
Yes.
but not like this.
not like that.
So, do you attribute any of that to global warming?
Climate change.
Climate change, you mean?
It is warming, but pea-brain people have trouble when you say global warming and they say, yeah, but there's ice in places there wasn't ice before. Yeah, caused by global warming. But to make it easy for the simple people, we just say climate change because it encompasses all of what is happening because of the warming.
Right. So I just want to put my 2 cents out there. I know that everyone keeps giving money to like the Red Cross. I don't endorse that
Me either.
at all. And if you want to know why, if you remember the scandal that happened with Red Cross, remember when the CEOs were thickening their pockets?
And that was just the well-publicized one, but they have been shady, to say the least, for decades.
For decades.
It's coming more to light now because they're getting so much money after 9/11 and Katrina and Andrew and the one before. They've been lining their pockets for... They've been behaving suspiciously, in my opinion, for decades.
For decades. So I appreciate that Google will give you some of the sites that are directly where money donated goes
Directly to no heavy overhead for a bunch of administrators.
Well, you have to ask, why is Google promoting for people to understand about the Black experience? Did you see that whole big site? They have a whole plight about that too. And so they have where they partnered, it's like a Black Lives Matter movement, but it's more about understanding the culture and what African Americans went through in this country.
Google is doing that.
Google is doing that. And that's what
On there, like you go to the Google page? Or
yeah, they have a whole bunch of videos.
Okay.
So we've even put those on our channel so people can hopefully watch them. But I like what they've done. They've really personalized the experience, picked out people, had them tell the story, and they're sponsoring it.
Okay.
And they're putting throughout all their YouTube channels and all that stuff.
Because I also believe that part of that reasoning is they were accused of allowing the Russians to utilize Google to help facilitate Mr. Trump win the election. And so they denied it. Have you guys heard this story?
No.
Right. Yeah, Google, man, just this past week, they finally admitted, there were some ads purchased by the Russians to support ads that are activities dealing with negative influences about Hillary Clinton and calling for meetings to protest and that kind of stuff. Man, just the coldest game in town.
That's not illegal.
It is if you're a foreign government.
I don't see how that, well.
You have to take foreign money to get involved in our politics. And it's coming, Google finally admitted it.
Okay, wait, so you're saying the Russian government bought ads that Google displayed,
Yeah, but Google does it all the I don't get it because Google does it all the time.
No, they're not supposed
and they were displayed here, not in Russia.
Well, there was, I don't know if you probably Google, I guess you can see it anywhere in the world, but it was specifically targeted to, based on the kind of stuff you want to view, you got a connection to one of those ads talking about we need to have a meeting so we can go protest and the negative stuff about Hillary Clinton, we need to be, so all of that was orchestrated and pointed to specifically targeted areas where they knew they could get the greatest impact, to get the greatest turnout for Donald Trump.
You mean like Alabama? Arkansas? No, I mean, I'm just saying.
In Philadelphia, in
Okay.
all of those places where he won, where nobody thought he would. Yeah, it was targeted.
Okay, if an American, what do you call it? Not nonprofit, but political. If the Koch brothers had done it, it would be legal.
Yeah.
We know because they do it all the time. Okay, but if the money came from a foreign government trying to influence our election, then it's not. Okay, that makes sense.
And he's catching a lot, and he's been denying this all along. And they're putting things together in terms of timelines of when he made the statement about her emails and how many days after that he said that they showed up, the meetings that his son and his other counterparts had with
Arranged
the Russians,
and had,
all of
yeah.
this, all of this is coming out.
Yeah, you know what? If somebody, whoever's in charge, if there's somebody in charge of the drip drop, that's not a good system. That's not a good system at all.
Meaning?
Because if there's more information, and damning information, and they know it now, they should just throw it all at the fan. Because frankly, I'm bored. I'm really bored with it. I don't want to hear no more about Russia. And I could be wrong, right? But the Democrats lost because they cheated. That's why they lost. I'm tired of hearing about, oh, Russia did this and Russia did that. There's almost no proof of anything.
No, they got it.
And they just keep, but you know what? They keep talking about it every day, and they haven't produced squat.
But you know why if I were them, I'd do it the same way? Because you get bored with that. And the only thing you're going to remember when election times come, man, those Republicans supported, and I don't know all the details of it, but I'm not voting for the Republicans this time. And that's all they want. They don't care about you understanding the full.
No, see, I'm not. You guys know I wouldn't vote Republican anyway. But no, hopefully, I would think that a reasonable person would say, you know what? All that noise they made about Russia every single day, every single hour, and I, Joe Public, still haven't seen the smoking gun. I don't trust any of them. I'm voting independent or, you know, whatever, something else. They've been talking about it forever, and there's still no smoking gun.
They're showing you the smoking gun. You just haven't been paying attention because you're
No. Because his son, mind you, I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying, okay, so Don Jr. had a meeting with someone that was supposed to be about adoption, and it turned into something else. Okay, so what was the result of that? Nothing. Well, only thing was he had a meeting with some Russian person, and you know, big deal.
The meeting was not about adoption, and
I know
it's coming out.
I know, but I'm saying, so what was the outcome? So they had a meeting that turned out not to be about adoption. Yes. Did they steal votes using the voting machines? No, that didn't happen because of this meeting. Did they send foreign agents over here and steer people away from the voting booths? No, that didn't happen. No, so he had a meeting. Big FD. I'm bored with it.
I'm so worn out that I don't even want to talk about it. In fact, we're just going to get ready.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'm with you 100%.
So you're watching Dolly Black.
Get some more popcorn.
Yeah, we need some more popcorn and some more water.
Yeah.
Water.
Get some more water. You know what? We'll be right back. Stay with us. There's so much more. We still have to talk about some of the local news and
good stuff.
And some good stuff. And also some of the national news. So we'll be right back.
Trash Day in Fresno.
What's she gonna take out? Shh! This is a stakeout. It looks like teddy bears.
Or a bag full of marshmallows. Big ones.
It's clothes. She's trying to recycle clothes. Ow, stop her.
Save the world. Save Fresno. Clothes go in the gray. There's no other way. For a full list of recycling offenders, visit keepfresnoclean.com.
The job market is getting much more competitive. How are you going to stand out? A degree from Trident University could be your first step toward a fulfilling career in business, health sciences, education, or information technology. Trident University is not like other online universities. At Trident, we work with you to accomplish more than you thought possible. New sessions start every month, so you can fit school into your busy life at an average cost less than many state colleges. Plus, take advantage of no textbook fees. Take that next step. Trident's unique online learning approach is designed to help Trident graduates stand out and be prepared for the workplace. Trident University's affordable degree programs in business, health sciences, education, and information systems may just be what you need to take the next step toward a fulfilling career. Your time is now. Earn your first 4 credits in only 8 weeks. Become Trident Strong and stand out from all the rest. Don't wait another day. Scholarships and grants are available, so call Trident University today to see if you qualify.
This is important news from the Diabetic Supply Line. If you, a friend, or a family member has diabetes and you have lost your supplier, or if you need a supplier for your diabetic supplies, you may qualify to get your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. To be potentially eligible, you only need Medicare or private insurance. Call the Diabetic Supply Line right now for details. It's a free call that just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly agents are waiting waiting 24/7 with free, no-obligation information. We handle all the insurance paperwork and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free. And if you call right now, we'll send you a free pedometer as your special bonus. Regardless of your age, if you or a loved one needs diabetic supplies and you have Medicare or private insurance, call us now. Call the Diabetic Supply Line now. Operators are standing by to take your call. Call now.
Probability states that you or someone you know has an addiction problem. This includes, but is not limited to, drugs and alcohol. Addiction is a disease and isn't something you should fight alone. So it's up to you to get the help you deserve and live the life you were meant for, not the life that's dictated on when you can get your next fix. Make the right call and choose your path forward today. We can help with prevention, intervention, facility placement, and entering treatment. When it comes to treatment, the problem isn't needing treatment, it's finding the best place to get it. And if you call the number at the bottom of your screen, we'll find that perfect place for you. It all starts with a single phone call. The call is confidential and the consultation is completely free. We'll help you one step at a time.
Call 800-355-9221. That's 800-355-9221. Make the right choice and choose your path forward now.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid. Your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-880-8914.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-880-8914.
Trash Day in Fresno.
What's she gonna take out? Shh! This is a stakeout! It looks...
Welcome back to Valley Black Talk, right on the ONME Network. My name is Julia Deli Najib and Mel Sanders. He will be right back, but we also have Jewell Riversmith that is with us, and we barely have touched any local news. We're going to wait till Mel comes back, but we want to still shoot the breeze because we're going a little over time anyway. We'll be on there until like about 8:20. Started a little late because you know how it is having mishaps, trying to get back into the swing of things. Let you all know we're going to be on every Sunday after that because it's obviously necessary because there's so much news that goes by. I'm really bothered about this weatherization thing, though. I can't get over the storms. I'm bothered because of the way it happened. First you had Harvey, and then you had the Irma, and in your mind you can't help but think, conspiracy? You have no choice but to feel that way, though.
Well, there's just all this, like I say. Do you remember when you were a kid and it used to be really cool to see a plane with a tail behind it, and and sometimes they would actually do loops and whatever, and it was like so cool.
Yeah.
Because it didn't happen that often. It was like seeing a blimp. Oh, wow, there's a blimp. Now, frequently, at least a couple of times a week, when I go out in the morning to take the dogs out before going to work, I look up, do the same thing at night. Every night I look up, I see what stars are visible. During the day, in the morning I look up. I frequently see planes with a tail behind them, and they're not doing loops and stuff. No, that's what I'm saying. There's something. They're not just doing it, just for fun or they are putting something in the air. Now, I don't know what it is. Maybe they're seeding the clouds. Maybe they're not. I don't know. But why do they? I'm saying chemtrails because there's something coming out from behind the plane. And they're way too high. They're not dusting the fields for bugs or whatever. They're way up there. What are they doing? And I see them all the time.
Something. Because, like I said, oh gosh, he was on Coast to Coast, and then I've also talked to him about before because he was on David Wilcox's show, and he was a part of the secret program. He talked about the stuff that they did. He talked about the weatherization program where they were experiment. These clouds are so called.
Yeah.
They weren't even clouds. They were gases that would interfere or mix with the atmosphere and then create storms.
And do things, yeah.
And do things. And we know that our government does it. I mean, if we want to talk about the polio, what happened in the 1950s with the polio
Exactly.
vaccine, do we want to talk about the Tuskegee experiment with our...
And what they, keep telling us about the vaccines now. And, you know, anytime you say, well, I don't know, I'm just uncomfortable. I don't quite believe that there's not some connection between them and autism. Then you get called crazy and a conspiracy theory. Just remember that the people screaming the loudest that something is wrong with you and you must be crazy are the very ones that 10 years from now will be being sued like all these drugs that, I mean, you almost can't.
His wife, and they had an autistic child. And oh gosh.
Oh, Jenny McCarthy. Yeah, and I agree with her.
Really, really laying it on.
Yeah.
And the research, and they were really trying to
shut her up. And call her crazy and stupid and say she's not a scientist, she doesn't know. But you know, I tell you, they say that, and then, like I say, 5 years, you can't hardly turn on the TV today and some lawyer isn't hollering at you, if you had a hip joint made by so-and-so, if you ever took blah, 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 and blah, 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 and had bleeding stool and breasts that fall off.
Let's talk about the talcum powder.
That's a good, you know.
That's a big deal, because that was an African-American woman that sued and won. She died before.
You mean the big, there was a big award just like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
But she died of cancer, the ovarian
cervical?
cancer.
Okay.
Cervical cancer. And so it was the use of talcum powder for years. When I was a little girl, that's what my grandmother gave me, was baby powder.
Was using it up until 8 years ago.
Okay, well, it's cancerous. So you would use it in your armpits, you use it in your private area.
Exactly.
When you were a kid, that's what you were told to use.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And it's cancerous. Johnson & Johnson got.
And they knew for years. But see, the thing is, like with the McDonald's coffee, that people make fun of the lady and say that was ridiculous and she shouldn't have got that kind of judgment. You need to go and read the case and how McDonald's had been sued previous times and settled out of court with people who had been burned by scalding hot. Now wait, I like my tea very, very hot. I like to have to sneak up on the cup.
Okay.
But that's when I make it at home. I don't expect when I go out somewhere, especially at a drive-through, that the coffee is going to be so hot that if I put it in my cup holder and it accidentally spills, I'm risking third-degree burns. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But I think we have to see. I don't understand those medical commercials when they come on the air and they're saying, oh, and this is going to help you. However, you might risk death.
Yeah. They get
let's get on the list.
They give you a whole rundown, and you'd be like, "Damn, the sickness ain't that bad."
You might risk death, cancer, seizures, or herpes. Go to your doctor see if you have any of these symptoms. And they got people playing in the park, and they're with their family, they're running with their family. But this is still a great medical
breakthrough.
This is a breakthrough. This is a great drug, but you are at risk of death, seizures.
You're talking normally though. You know, in the commercial, I can't even do it, right? You guys know I can't even scat, which is, making nonsensical sounds. So I can't do it. But no, in the commercial, they're like, you may experience blah, 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 blah. You can't even halfway understand what they're saying.
Heart failure or even death. Please see your doctor.
I'm having trouble digesting my food because I have, gastrointestinal whatever, right? And I want that gone. But I'm not willing to be dead.
Also,
well, we cured it. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because I'm just so enthralled that they're just so passive about this. And we still have it all over the TV.
All over the TV.
Day long, and people are still taking the stuff. So, in this house, we're kind of a natural path where we take everything natural as possible. It's different if you if you get surgery or anything like that. Of course, it's a lot different. But when we're talking about for
anything that you can do naturally. And to that end, I did get some turmeric and some melatonin the other day while I was at the hospital.
Jewell.
Yeah, so.
The hawthorn berries, she's good to go.
Yeah.
They used to use hawthorn berries.
I've never heard of hawthorn berries. What? I've never heard of it. What are the?
People were having heart attacks. They took hawthorn berries.
Okay.
In fact, that's in one of the episodes of Mad Men.
Hawthorn berries?
Yeah, they said you take some hawthorn berries, and they said it so quickly because somebody was having a heart attack. Was it Roger? He had something with a angina attack, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And they said, "Hey, getting hawthorn." I'm like, people don't know that, but that's what they did back in the day.
Well, then I'm gonna have to get the. I presume they come in pill form.
Yes, they do.
Okay, because I haven't seen them in the produce section, so I can't get them that way. And just so we clarify, because people are going, Mad Men, that one. Well, frankly, people that are watching us are going, I can't believe Julia and Jewell watch Mad Men. Yeah, it went off a long time ago, but of course I got into it when it was on AMC, but I didn't have cable at the time, so every now and then I'd be at a friend's house or whatever, and I'd see a marathon. But when it came out on Netflix, then I was able to watch it from beginning to end. So, that's why we're just now talking about a show that ended a long time ago. But
2015 is when the last
I say,
episode was.
if people haven't watched it, and if you have Netflix, it's on Netflix now, you should really, I love it. I love period stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I love the clothes. I love the way they dress.
Ooh. Talking about that one.
Love when they go in people's houses. Actually, a few things I have seen that I recognize in Peter and Trudy's house. There's a lamp. Not the apartment, but the house they move into later in the country. There's a lamp. My aunt had that exact same lamp. And so it's just funny, seeing all since I wasn't cognizant in the 60s, I wasn't born until 64, right? to see, to get some idea of what it was like. I'm a visual person. So, sometimes I ask my parents, well, what was it like before we all came along and they can tell me their experience and everything, but I need to see things.
And that's why I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even though I was born, even though you might have been born in the 60s, technically.
If you were 3 or 4 or 8 or, you don't.
You remember that stuff.
Yeah.
Technically you would have grew up in the 70s. That's how it works.
Exactly.
So another show that I like is Halt and Catch Fire. And that looks at the computer age from the late 1960s all the way until it starts getting to the 90s, and it's just because I was there, I lived in Silicon Valley, was raised in Silicon Valley, and just showing how the companies were fighting. It was like what
is it called?
Halt and Catch Fire.
Halt and Catch Fire? That's an interesting name. Yeah. Okay. And is it available on Netflix?
AMC, yeah, there's also Netflix, and it's on AMC. They've been playing all the episodes. All the past episodes are on Netflix as well.
Oh, good. Okay, I haven't heard of that. And
I don't know. I had to binge watch that too. I'm like,
I love a good.
Why were so
I love it. You're texting me, and you're saying, and I can't believe, and whose baby is that anyway? And then I have to think about, but I appreciate that you're telling me what season you're in. Then I have to think about, what is she? Oh, yeah, when so-and-so got pregnant. Yeah, it's. I'm going to check that out. Your recommendations are good.
Yeah.
The Get Down, and
was a good one.
I am so glad that, because I had watched 2 episodes of that before you said anything about it, and I was kind of like, I don't know, it's not holding my interest. And then you said, no, you got to go back, you got to watch. I had watched 2. No, I was going to watch it. And then I saw a preview or something, and I said, oh, yeah, it doesn't seem that. And then you said, no, it's good. You need to watch it. So I watched those 2 episodes, and after those 2, I wasn't completely hooked, but I was willing to stay. And then about episode 3, it's like, oh, I can't turn this off. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that, again, that's another period drama that really shows
exactly
what was happening in the hip-hop culture when it was just being birthed.
Yeah, on the East Coast.
Right, on the East Coast, which is where it all began.
Right.
Where people barely even understood it.
Yeah.
So I challenge you all to watch Get Down. In fact, Will Smith's son
he was so good.
Yeah,
he has really come of age in his acting.
He's really good. So I hope people watch that. Halt and Catch Fire is another period drama that people should watch if they want to understand the nit and grit of the computer age, and when
so this was during the period when your dad was working
so I was
in Silicon Valley.
It's interesting how they interject Microsoft. Interesting how they interject, Apple and all that was coming up. And I wish that my dad would be willing to tell his story like live.
Yeah.
Or we could, write a story of it, because it's so, he was there, and I want him to watch these shows too.
Yeah.
Because he can tell how accurate it is. But it's been pretty
Is he a TV person?
Not so much.
Yeah.
But if I tell him this and tell him why, then we'll have this analytical conversations about it. That would be a really good one. Because then he'll break down to me what's right, what's wrong, historically what's correct, and all that stuff. But yeah, *Halt and Catch Fire*.
*Halt and Catch*. Okay, I'm definitely gonna look for that.
And the past shows are on Netflix.
Okay.
So
So it is still current. It's still filming new episodes. Okay.
A day ago in season 4.
Okay.
So I gotta catch up. Oh, I didn't even look at that. I'm trying to get rid of the Mad Men. I got 3 more episodes of that one of the last season 7. I got the last.
Wait, there's 2 halves of season 7.
Wait a minute.
I hate that. So they did like 10 episodes. That was season 7A. I say A. And then you had to wait, and the last 10 episodes, instead of them making it a season 8, it was still season 7. I know.
How do I even know what I'm watching? I don't know if I'm watching.
Oh, you'll know when you get to the end.
Okay.
But it's like episode 14 or 18 or something like that, because they split season 7.
What the heck I'm watching?
So yeah, I was gonna rewatch it so we could, I'd be in the same place you were, but I can't keep up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Since when I'm working late, I'm like, why don't I just go to the
You may as well have it on.
Since I'm still down here working, I'll go to the next one. And then it causes me to stay up late. Now I'm fatigued. So that's been my TV summer, I guess. And a lot of people do this binge watching.
Yeah, I have to admit, don't you love that?
Yes.
I love that.
I hate having to wait a whole week to be able to watch something.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I want to watch it now.
Well, and then you can watch, there's no commercials. If you need to run to the kitchen and get some more juice, you just pause it.
Run to the kitchen.
Do whatever you got to do. I'll tell you, when I watch regular TV, which is very seldom, but when I watch regular TV, I feel assaulted now. I was already annoyed with all the commercials. And they say that, yes, they show more commercials per break now, but the commercials are shorter. So they claim it's about the same amount of time. I don't care. I don't want to see 15 commercials between. I don't care that it's still the same 3 minutes or whatever it is. My brain is on overload. So yeah, I love now. I can binge watch. I can watch something all day long. Get 3 seasons in.
Unless it's like your day off, please don't, lose sleep over it per se. I know people losing sleep, not going to bed at 4 a.m. That's me. But at least I'm working.
Yeah, if you're working. But the great thing is, and you can do that by choice. Yeah. You don't have to, because you can say, well, you know what? I'll watch the next 8 episodes tomorrow. You can do it because it's all in your fingertips. I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that are passing away because of technology and, new things coming in. We don't have the Pony Express anymore. We don't have the street lamp lighter who used to go around because we have electric. I don't know if you can buy a singing telegram still. I'm guessing that you can. Oh, and just regular telegrams. I don't know. What do you need them for when you have email? So I don't know. But
the mail's become a little bit obsolete.
It has. It has. One thing I don't feel bad about at all, if streaming channels put cable either out of business or make them have to change their business model so that you can purchase just the channels you want instead of having to have a package with 200 channels and you only watch 12 of them regularly, but you got to pay for all of them. If cable gets broken by the streaming channels, it will be a vast improvement.
At that point, because now with Xfinity, I can just talk about the cable company out here, what they're doing now is they make you purchase the online.
Right, exactly. So does AT&T. All I need is internet. I don't need their TV at all. But they make you purchase the basic. I have the basic UVerse so that I can have my internet.
Oh, is that what they do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm telling you, and they talk about pimps and stuff. If you want just the internet, right, you will pay the same price or more than if you bundle it with something else. Well, then they get to say, oh, we have this many subscribers to Uverse. No, I really don't subscribe to your Uverse TV. I have to take it in order to get the Uverse high-speed internet, which is all I really want.
Regular residential, you can't just get internet.
Well, you can, but you can pay $77 a month just for your internet at a lower, slower speed.
Okay.
Or you can pay $77 a month for your internet and your Uverse TV, basic, not the pay channels and all that, basic, and you get your internet at a higher speed because you bundled and you have 2 products from us and not just one.
Well, doesn't that bundle go up though? Isn't that the problem? That everyone
Actually, my bundle went up recently and I'm like, wait a minute, this is $10 more than I usually pay. So I called them and they said, oh, well, you know, your special ended. I said, well, then my service needs to end.
It's a hustle.
Yeah, exactly. So then, so then they, they said, oh, well, we do have a new special and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, why didn't you just put me on that automatically? Do you think I want to pay more? Exactly. But anyway, so the hustle is you can have just a standalone, whether it's your internet or your phone or your TV. Sure, you can get just that, but we're going to charge you a lot more for it than if you bundle it with something else.
Right. Okay.
I don't want your other thing.
Smooth hustle. Right
I'm telling you, the telecom AT&T and Comcast, well,
they're going to be broken down because Google has its own internet service that's thriving really well in Mountain View in the Bay Area.
Well, I wish they'd hurry up and get out here.
We're trying. Amazon also is delving into that as well.
I heard. And see, that's the thing. Just a little bit of competition makes the market better for everybody. When you have these big monolithic, you got 2 companies, you can only get your internet from them or them. That's it.
Yeah.
They work with each other to keep the prices artificially high. But you got 4, 5, 6 choices, then you have a lot more selection.
They always combine. That's another thing that Mad Men show really explains how corporations just mesh together. First they're competitive, and then these smaller company
get sucked up by
they want to get sucked up by the big person. So these 2 combine, and then eventually this bigger company buys them out. It's just the nature of business.
That's business.
Same thing with Comcast, who is combined with Time Warner.
Yeah, I mean, and Time Warner, or is it Disney? Disney too. I mean, they eat up everything. Yeah, you can hear the bones crunching.
Yeah,
they just
sucking it up. And so those are some of the things that I don't think people realize with big business. That's the part that I feel like the African American business, I feel like we miss out on that part. We don't understand that part of business of getting together. If we can get past emotional stuff that we go through of hating one another, hating on one another, and realizing that, man, if we combine, wow, there's more power if I combine, huh?
Wait.
I never thought of that. Wow, novel concept, right?
And it doesn't matter what arena you do it in. You have more power if you combine, whether it's voting, whether it's,
Our ego is we just dealt someone a few weeks ago, and the ego is just, out the park. And as much as we try to work with that individual, it's just damn near impossible.
Okay, and you won't say he or she has, such a big ego. It's a small, damaged ego. We say that, so-and-so has a big ego. No, it's a small, damaged ego. That's why they're like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very clear. Extremely different. And we have that a lot in our community, and I feel like we got to practice the art of forgiveness. We got to practice the art of working on ourselves before we can go out there and work with others.
I totally agree.
Because I've been dealing with some egos. I'm like, dang, you guys. Okay, I can't be around that energy too long.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to see myself fall prey those to me, those are emotional vampires.
They are. And and I know people are going to laugh. I mean, I don't mean it literally, but yeah, you really do have to be careful about keeping your space protected, because as my friend used to say, stuff will jump off on you. You know, you're hanging around the very jealous or the very just otherwise negative or the very, person, and you're thinking, well, that's just the way they are. I'm okay. Stuff will jump off on you. You got to be careful.
And I just feel like we do have that challenge within the Black community. And not just within locally. I know that myself and Linus were dealing with some national partners, and we were trying to combine, say, hey, you guys provide this service and that service. It'd be great if we can work together, and because that's what, like Black Trade Lines, they really encourage other African American businesses to work together. But one young lady got real nasty.
Wait, you were trying to bring two businesses together?
Yeah, what we do, and then part of what that person does.
Okay.
But this person, I'll say she, because she's back east somewhere, felt so threatened, that she was so nasty towards Linus and myself. I'm like, was that even necessary?
You're offering her a partnership. I mean, a way to work together, which is going to work for you and for her, presumably.
So damn threatened.
Yeah.
Black people, talking to you.
Yeah.
That, well, this is mine. Oh no, I can't do. Oh no, I can't.
Yeah.
Eye on that. There was no need for that. At least with another person that we're working with at Atlanta, he's trying to open himself up. He's saying, okay, I need to change my paradigm. I'm like, we keep telling him, you're not making any money that way, what you're doing right now. You're just trying to keep up with the Joneses, and his way of keeping up the Joneses is making him go broke.
Yeah.
And we're saying, we can't go down that path with you. We'll be happy to partner with you if you can come down this way. But at least he'll call every now and then, hey, how are you guys doing? Here's what I'm doing, what do you think? But we still have this ownership, Jewel.
I know.
Mine.
So scared to give up just a little bit of
right here. You over here, and I'm right here. If you want to join me, then you got to do it this way.
Exactly.
We don't ever get successful that way.
Yeah.
You just won't ever get successful.
Yeah. And I tell you, you are so right. We really need to get past that, because the other folks, and I mean all the other folks, not just white folks. I mean all the other many other cultures understand that the two of us together are more powerful than each of us separately. Right. We haven't mastered that yet. And that's why, aside from, and I mean, there are some real boots on our neck. I mean, there's that other cultures do not suffer. Right. There's no two ways about that. That we ain't making that up, as America is coming to see more clearly now. But the way that we harm our own self is, like you say, we're not able to, I got to give up a little, you got to give up a little, but together, when we partner, we both do better. We really have to learn that lesson, because those other folks that work together, they work with people they hate, as long as they have a common goal. Exactly.
They had to work with somebody they really, really didn't like.
Exactly.
But they merged together so they could get the money. And I wish we would do that. And unfortunately, I have to say, majority of our partners are non-Black.
Yeah.
Why? Because they see the value of working with us. We see the value of working with them. And they give a little, take a little. We're both.
Yeah. And unfortunately, and this, again, just my experience and my opinion, but very often we're very satisfied with, the lower rung. As long as I'm here, I'm okay. It took a lot of work to get here. I'll just sit here forever.
Right here.
Yeah. We're too scared to try to give a little, to get a little, so that we can move up here, and then up here, and then up here. Yeah, it's a little riskier, and there's some stuff that, you might have some misgivings about, but you have to take a risk in order to move up. No, I'm going to stay right here. I'm just stay right here.
Risk is where people do move up and become very successful. And we missed the boat on that. About having a calculated risk versus being scared and fearful. Because when you're scared and fearful, you won't ever move.
Yeah.
You ain't going nowhere.
And the funny thing is, we take a lot of chances that we may not consider chances. Look, your 401k that you think is going to be there when you get ready to retire. In fact, I was listening to someone the other day on C2C, and he was saying that, it would be better if we had, we should, Social Security is not going to be there. The conservatives are always saying that. And so we need to have our own, we should be able, instead of paying Social Security into Social Security, instead of paying that tax, citizens should be able to take the money that is automatically deducted that goes to Social Security and put it in their own individual investing accounts. And I obviously this person is a gazillionaire, because anybody listening, and I was so mad, when people call in and they don't say what I would say. So no one called in and said, excuse me, a whole lot of people lost like half of their investment retirement accounts during the downturn. You should not have to put, especially if you're not a seasoned, trained investor. I know that I like that company and that company. I can't predict how they're going to do in the future. I mean, we don't need individual stock investment accounts. That is nothing to count on to retire on.
So much more, folks. After the break, now we're going to get to we got local stuff.
I could go on and on.
I know, we could go on and on about it. But we just wanted to give you a tidbit. We call it a little shout out from Jewell and Julia, the J&J, our feelings and what we think about, I don't know, everything.
Everything. I think about. There's nothing that I could ask you, or you could ask me, that we don't have an opinion. I can't think of anything I don't have an opinion on.
Everything. So we'll be right back after this break. You're watching Valley Black Talk Radio on the ONME Network. Stay with us. We've got so much more.
Trash Day in Fresno.
What's she gonna take out? Shh! This is a stakeout. It looks like teddy bears.
Or a bag full of marshmallows. Big ones.
It's clothes. She's trying to recycle clothes. Ow, stop her.
Save the world, save Fresno. Clothes go in the gray. There's no other way. For a full list of recycling offenders, visit keepfresnoclean.com.
The job market is getting much more competitive. How are you going to stand out? A degree from Trident University could be your first step toward a fulfilling career in business, health sciences, education, or information technology. Trident University is not like other online universities. At Trident, we work with you to accomplish more than you thought possible. New sessions start every month, so you can fit school into your busy life at an average cost less than many state colleges. Plus, take advantage of no textbook fees. Take that next step. Trident's unique online learning approach is designed to help Trident graduates stand out and be prepared for the workplace. Trident University's affordable degree programs in business, health sciences, education, and information systems may just be what you need to take the next step toward a fulfilling career. Your time is now. Earn your first 4 credits in only 8 weeks. Become Trident Strong and stand out from all the rest. Don't wait another day. Scholarships and grants are available, so call Trident University today to see if you qualify.
This is important news from the Diabetic Supply Line. If you, a friend, or a family member has diabetes and you have lost your supplier, or if you need a supplier for your diabetic supplies, you may qualify to get your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. To be potentially eligible, you only need Medicare or private insurance. Call the Diabetic Supply Line right now for details. It's a free call that just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly agents are waiting 24/7 with free, no-obligation information. We handle all the insurance paperwork and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free. And if you call right now, we'll send you a free pedometer as your special bonus. Regardless of your age, if you or a loved one needs diabetic supplies and you have Medicare or private insurance, call us now. Call the Diabetic Supply Line now. Operators are standing by to take your call. Call now.
Probability states that you or someone you know has an addiction problem. This includes, but is not limited to, drugs and alcohol. Addiction is a disease and isn't something you should fight alone. So it's up to you to get the help you deserve and live the life you were meant for, not the life that's dictated on when you can get your next fix. Make the right call and choose your path forward today. We can help with prevention, intervention, facility placement, and entering treatment. When it comes to treatment, the problem isn't needing treatment, it's finding the best place to get it. And if you call the number at the bottom of your screen, we'll find that perfect place for you. It all starts with a single phone call. The call is confidential and the consultation is completely free. We'll help you one step at a time.
Call 800-355-9221. That's 800-355-9221. Make the right choice and choose your path forward now.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid, your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-880-8914.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-880-8914.
Trash Day in Fresno.
What's she gonna take out? Shh! This is a stakeout. It looks like teddy bears.
Or a bag full of marshmallows. Big ones.
It's
Welcome back to Valley Black Talk Radio on the ONME Network. Julie Dudley Najee, Mel Sanders, and Jewell Riversmith. Bam! You want to know where Mel's at? Where he at? There he at, right here. He's right here. So I'm glad that he was back. And he got us some little goodies.
I'm glad he's back too.
We got some chips, that's why. So anyway,
Mel is the candy man.
Candy man. Okay, so we don't need to get there. So we didn't get to talk about the local news and things that have been happening in our community. What is he laughing about? The candy man? Mm-hmm. There's two different candy man. There's the one, the movie Candyman.
Yeah, you're not that candy man.
And he has bees flying out.
That is a scary looking dude.
I told you when me and my girlfriend went to go see that movie, and we were so scared. And after we saw that movie, we ran to the parking lot to our car. And we were in college. We were scared.
That is a scary looking dude.
So anyway, but not that candy man. We want to talk about the local news and things that have been happening. By the way, we should bring up Sloan Stephens. If you can bring that upcoming events up, click on not upcoming. Local news, if you can click on local news. And what's up first? I don't know what's up. Oh, that's just, okay, so the thing you see right now on the screen real quick has to do with the ONME news that comes out every third Monday, where you can at least look at the newsletter, and in case there's anything that you missed, we compile it all in one.
I love that newsletter.
Okay. Now, we've got Grand Slam U.S. Open winner in New York, September 9th, Sloan Stephens.
You know her?
Huh? No, do you know her?
No, but I know the girl that she played against and beat.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Is Sloan Stephens new? It seems to me she just came out of nowhere.
Well, she went from 900th place to I don't know, 18th place. She's in the
because she just came out of nowhere. I had never heard her name.
Yeah,
and then
she had
boom.
An injury. So for 11, we have that story on
okay.
ONME News. We featured that in the ONME News. You can go take a look at that.
Okay.
But she was on a foot injury. It was fractured for 11 months.
Ooh.
So she was down in ranks. So for her even to have this type of comeback, it's pretty doggone.
Mm-hmm.
It's
especially
good.
in light of the fact that she played against somebody who says, I'm neither.
What? What do you
black
mean?
or white.
Okay, well,
I'm just whatever her name is.
Oh, so she's not black or white?
She has a parent from each.
Sloan or the other person?
No,
Sloan's
okay.
black.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, she chocolate. Yeah, real chocolate. So,
Oh, maybe I have her confused with the other girl.
With the light-skinned girl?
The girl I saw, and I thought it was Sloane Stevens, but she was very light with beautiful, but
No, that's the
you
other
know.
one. That's one she
That's
played.
what
Okay, that's who I go. Okay.
She whooped her.
Okay.
She whooped her.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you got to get on one side of the fence. We do not like unclarity.
But on Roland, they had a real debate about that because they're saying, "Oh yeah," one of the ladies that was on the panel said, "Look, we're gonna have to deal with that because there are people who have parents from both sides, and we can't make them decide what their loyalty should be. They've been too long identified that if you have one drop of blood in you from African American, you all African American." So she said, "That's something we're gonna have to read." She was the only one on the panel that said that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And you know what? I'm fine with people saying I'm biracial. That's fine. I don't have any problem with that. But you know,
She neither. That's
see, and that's the that is a problem to me.
At least my nephew calls himself a Blaxican. I'm just saying.
And that's all. I mean, you just
I make that term up, so please don't email me about Julia uses the word Blaxican. No, he calls himself that.
yeah. But you know what? Good for him. I don't have any problem with someone wanting to claim both. But you don't have. You deny neither, and you embrace both. You don't just say, well, you know. I mean.
I'm me.
So what do you blame that on, the parents or the young person? Because these are still young adults. Someone's only 24, that young girl's only 22 that she beat.
Well, I wouldn't say blame.
The other way around.
But here's my thing. Whatever you look like, that's how the world treats you. And there's no, you know, if let's say you're biracial, but your skin is darker, your hair is kinkier, you can either go around all the time saying my mother is this and my father is that, my mother is this and my father is that, or you can say my appearance is African American and that's how I identify, but I certainly have the other, whatever the other is, white, Mexican, Chinese, Jap, whatever it is. But how you look.
Except what?
Korean. Korean in particular.
Really? Is there a lot of mixing?
No, I'm just saying. Isn't he in the highlight in the spot news right now? The North Korean president?
Oh yeah, but
I said everything except North Korea. I was being here.
See, sometimes he says things and I think he's not saying the whole. So what? Does he have somebody in the room that looks like me, or what? I mean, what?
No, I was just
okay.
You can claim to be. You start naming off all the ethnicities. It's okay. And I said except.
Oh, okay. Oh, you can't say that. Okay, well, not with that haircut.
and Trump be coming after you anyway. He's looking for somebody he can whoop. It ain't too many people he can whoop, so he figure if he can get a female.
He whoops Omarosa, trust me. That's who he whoops, okay? Trust me. And she likes it.
And she been quiet as a church mouse. You notice that?
Well, you know she got put out.
No.
Put out of what?
Who's the new general?
I thought that was
well, I mean, I read it in the paper, so in the beat.
Access to the president?
Kelly, is it Kelly? He told her from now, all these people that just wander into meetings that they're not supposed to be in the first place and have their hand in everything that it shouldn't be in, time out for that. One thing I gotta say for Kelly, right.
Your whole world's finna collapse. And everybody knows it, including you.
So now he only sees her when he gets home. I guess.
Ain't his home in New York? Oh, that's right.
His home is in New York. His home is in Florida. I hear he's got a home in in Puerto Rico or Bangladesh or one of the flooded out places. He has,
Well, he might be in a place. He might have a home in a place that doesn't support extradition.
He better hope. I think he's got a few homes.
Yeah, he may need to be someplace where they can't get him. Nobody gonna turn him in.
Yeah.
So
maybe he might be going to Russia. And what's that got? Julian Assange?
No. Edward is in Russia.
We got plenty of time.
Back to local news.
We'll talk about that.
We know that Keisha Thomas is running for District 1, Cal Johnson's seat. And so she did speak at the,
who is that?
Keisha. I'm sorry I don't have the pictures up.
Who is she?
Here's my thing. When you are going, okay, Keisha, she's running for District 1 for the school board.
Yeah, okay, I know that. But who is she?
You know her.
I know her?
Yeah. She teaches at McLean. She used to be one of the vice chairs for the NAACP, Fresno. And
have we met her?
She's
Keisha Alfred. Did you say? What did you say?
Thomas.
Is it Alfred? Used to be a name or something?
Yes.
Are we talking about Leroy's niece? Oh, okay. Now.
So here's my thing.
Yeah. All right.
Have I met her? Has she been to
know what? We did do like an excerpt maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, when you had the swearing in. Yeah, she was one of the ones that was one of the VPs.
Okay. Did I meet her?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, Julia, be kosher. So when we are going out in the community and we are speaking, and I'm saying this for every black candidate, because so far I've seen the fault with a number of them, not just one, not just two, but all of them so far. We have to know what we're talking about. We have to have our facts and figures, no generalities. And that's, I see that we are lacking in that.
In specifics?
Right, in the specifics, which are very important because that's what people want to know. Okay, so when you're speaking in a group to African Americans, fine, you're going to say whatever you want to say. Because we as African Americans don't even know the right questions to ask. Now, when you are, I'm just saying, we are.
No, very often, yes, yeah.
For instance, if somebody's talking about, I'm running for school board, we will ask something ridiculous, such as, well, how are you going to change the city of Fresno, and how are we going to, we'll do stuff like that, and that's from us just being.
And then you get a real general answer, and.
And so that was my thing that I felt.
If you're talking to black people, if you're talking to white people, they will explain to you that this is my parameters right here. This is where I am. That's a good question, but that's really something you should be asking your city council.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they, but I don't think they're necessary. I think as politicians, they tend to be ungeneral. I mean, they tend to be. They don't speak about specifics. And Julia, I agree. You have to know. Then when you get the 15-minute answer that should have been 3 minutes, because they could have just said boom, 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 you have to know how to come back with, no. I want to know, how are you going to decrease dropouts? How are you going to decrease, whatever it is? Yeah, you need to ask for specifics.
That's my only problem that I'm having at these events, and that's why go ahead.
Those are the kind of questions that are asked that she just asked, which have nothing to do with board business. Absolutely nothing. That's school business.
But it was still asked.
Yeah, the board member has nothing to do with how we're going to decrease absenteeism or increase.
But you know what? And I know in a way you're right. I know that. But to me, and we board members are elected officials, right? And I get that. But here's the thing. My understanding and my experience so far is we elect them, and then they go to events at the school, and they want premium parking, and they want to be announced and all that, and glad hand and wave like they're doing something. And all they're doing is voting on who gets put in this position and who gets put in that position. Very rarely, obviously, are they checking to see whether the district, whatever the district is actually following its own rules. Right? Can you even put this person in that position? Are you going against some other rule, like maybe personnel commission or something like that? Board members, they don't, or nepotism, whatever. No, they just, so I get, as far as I'm concerned, it's the board member's fault, because I elected you to go there and take care of my business.
Before they got there, to understand that that's their job.
Okay, but so same thing. I would ask a board member, what are you personally going to do? Now, I understand they don't run the school. I get that.
They're policymakers.
But exactly. Yeah. But you can make a policy that for the people in my constituency, we're going to have a program every Saturday at the African American Museum, that a tutoring program, so that students get what they need, because they're not going to get it at, I'm just off the top of my head again.
This is a good conversation.
There's a whole bunch of stuff they don't get.
This is good.
Thank you. I kept trying to cut you off.
At high school or college or whatever. They don't get it. I, as a board member, am going to organize this, put the right people in place so that we can offer this to the students in my area. And I think that will help with dropouts. Okay, so they need to be doing more.
Okay, I agree. But even in your statement, there's a way to say that to let people know that you really understand what your job is. You said you're going to put people in place to do the job that's necessary. Wrong turn. I am going to support putting people in place to do that. Because you just one vote. So you have to support the motion of at least 3 more to move it.
No. I'm not doing this in conjunction with the other board members, right? The board members didn't elect, okay, look, you and Julia are board members. Okay. We do stuff that, okay.
Which is what you just said, that's what we do.
No.
Collectively.
Okay, right. But we work together and we do this, right?
Right.
But when Lennis asked me, I'm a citizen in your district.
Correct.
What are you doing?
Correct.
I say, ain't got nothing to do with y'all. In my district, there is a place where all of the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th graders meet every Saturday for free, and they can take classes, and we have tutors and blah, blah, blah. Then the kids in my district have a greater likelihood of completing high school.
Very good.
And it has nothing to do with the board stuff that I do over here.
You gave a great speech to an individual group saying this is what but at the end of the day, you know what you have to do in order to bring that to reality? You got to go back and say, I got to be able to count to 4. Yep. So we can spend the money to do exactly what you said. We have to agree to spend the money.
Not this board. It doesn't have anything to do with this board.
You're talking, well, who's putting the tutoring together?
Me and the people in my constituency.
Oh, so there's no money involved?
No, there is money involved.
Where's the money coming from?
The money is coming from the people in my constituency if they care.
Oh, so it's not, okay. Now,
I'm saying, I'm not, exactly.
It's clear.
Exactly. Yeah. But as a person that I elected to the board, I want to know, what are you doing among your people that helps them
why do you need to be
in your other capacity? Well, you don't need to be elected.
Okay, so
right.
We're talking to people who are trying to be elected. What message should they have that lets people know they know what they're going to be doing when they get on that dais to make decisions that impact that job description or whatever?
Okay, and I say you don't need to be elected. You can, I mean, we need community volunteers too. But I'm saying as an elected board member, how are you helping me? Because check it out. You going to board meetings and voting on who gets to be the next executive assistant or technician for that, that isn't helping me at all. I'm not, I mean, frankly, maybe I better hold that remark until the break. I really don't see what they do that the chancellor couldn't do alone.
The reason being is you don't understand the parameters of what they're capable of doing.
Okay.
Not what they're doing. They have a lot more areas to be involved with community and education, but are they?
You mean they're only using their hammer, but they have a wrench and a screwdriver and a whole bunch of stuff in their toolbox, but they're only...
Do they have a hoe?
Child, I guess you'd have to go along Roding Drive to know if they...
I'm talking about the tool, Jewell, now. Oh my God. I'm talking about the tool. I don't know where
we really do need to talk about that. Yeah. What are the other, I mean, what are they supposed to be doing? I just don't feel like they do anything. Like I say, they go to programs and they want a special parking place and they want to wave their hands. What are they doing for the people that elected them?
What are they supposed to do now? What is a school board member supposed to do?
They're made up of a body of folks coming from different areas of the community, and their job is to come together and devise a plan that can best educate the masses of the kids coming through for education.
Collaboratively?
Yes. Okay. And that means there's going to have to be some give and take, because in my district I can't get everything I want, even though there is a need, but that's true across the board for every, so we have to come together collectively and say what we think needs to happen so that we can give instructions to the people we hire, the person, really it's one person that we hire, superintendent. This is what we talked about. We need a plan developed around how this works. We don't want you to come back to us and tell us that you thought it out and you're going to come with a plan and you're going to ask us if it's okay. It's got to come from the community representative, which is why the ed code was set up the way it is, so that the community had a voice in what kind of education services you're going to be providing to those students. And most of the time, 99.9% of the time, it's not like that. They hire a superintendent and say, look, you see the situation, you see our test scores, you see what our facilities look like, you know what our budget looks like, how do we make this work? So you wind up doing something like this. City of Fresno Police Department comes to you and say, you know what? We want to put a shot, whatever they call that thing in there, where you can identify where a shot has been fired in some place. And they have school sites that they're using, and the school district is kicking in money for that cause. That ain't got nothing to do with ABCs. You don't give your money to the police department. Why don't you hire some folks from those neighborhoods, either certificated or classified positions, that know the people, and when something like that happens, you have an instant response if it happens, or better yet, use them as preventions. So, you know, the people sitting on that dais, they have a much larger responsibility than most of them
are carrying out.
Yes.
Okay, and their responsibility doesn't end at students, right? I mean, like, as a taxpayer and, you know, someone who is frequently on the campus, I ain't seeing nearly enough black folks in positions of power.
It's policy.
Okay, does the but does the board have anything to say about that?
Yeah, they developed a policy that said we want to have our administration reflect the student population that we serve. And that's general, but you can be real specific when you get the man in the back room and you tell him, look, man, this is what we're looking for, because you don't want to get yourself in a position of, well, you guys are discriminating. You're not going after the best person. And but there's other ways you can get to where you want to go. If that guy knows that you can count to 4, he's going to bring you back some selections that he believes is going to meet the needs that you just suggested. So they have a greater area of responsibility and of influence than most of them use.
Is school board an important seat?
Very important. For me, it's one of the most important, because you're talking about developing the minds of young people who will be the next leaders in our country.
Do you think that most people...
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that most people... I don't know that they know that. And I agree with you, it is very important. I don't know that they, you know, they just, it's way down on the ticket, and they just check off whatever name seems most familiar. And then the people go on and, you know, do what they've been doing for decades.
Which brings me to another point that you guys sold me on, but go ahead.
I don't know that people get it, that these people have a lot more power than they're exercising, and that the only way that they're going to exercise it is if you, the electorate, say, look, that parking situation has been terrible forever. My student got locked out of his first 2 classes because he couldn't get there on time because he arrived there way early but wasn't able to find any parking. And you keep registering new students because you want the money, but you're doing a disservice to the students and employees that you currently have. Now, I want to know what you're going to do to fix it.
Great question.
What do you guys realize as the electorate, the people who are electing those people, do you have any idea? And again, I'm talking about every school. I'm using the parking, you know, could be any problem. Could be the leaking ceilings or the non-working water fountains. Do you know that it matters who you elect to the school board, and that they can do stuff that perhaps you don't even know, perhaps they don't even know they have the power to do?
The question is, how are we going to educate people on that?
By doing what we're doing right now, and those folks have to be, if you're really interested and you really want to know, you need to be tuning in. Because this is the real stuff here. When we're talking about these issues, this is real. You talking about running for school board, those great platitudes and all saying all those great things that you think people want to hear. Yeah, that sounds good, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, they asked, for instance, they asked about the mentorship. How can you bring more mentorship to the, you know, to the schools? They asked about African American, black males. How are you going to be able to help them? What's the data on that? And so,
and the only control.
And did anyone know any? Could anyone answer any of those questions?
I bet you everybody got an answer. It sounded good, but is it something they can do?
Ask me at the break.
Okay.
Yeah, where you been? You tell me where you going? Yeah, but yeah, those kind of things, those kind of questions are too broad in general. They're not narrowed into what the responsibility of a board member is.
That's the issue that I have.
When you narrow it down exactly, but the people asking the questions have to know that, because if you don't know it, they'll think they'll give you some great platitude about, well, you know, I was in New York and I saw this program and I'd like to see us bring it here.
See, that's what they did, and that's what we talked about.
See, so you know what we need? I'm telling you, we need to do what the union did one time, but then, I'll tell you about that on the break. But you know, we need some folks to step up, Because this Negro here, he knows what he is talking about. He knows whereof he speaks. This tool right here, he is a very good tool.
He weeds out stuff, but it doesn't use a hoe.
We'll get back to that on the break too. But you know what would be really cool is if we had like 15 volunteers, 15 people who care about what is going on in their community. And we get them a Valley Black Talk t-shirt with that microphone on it. Mel trains them. Here's the things that are in Fresno Unified Board Members Toolbox. Here are the things that are in the City Council Members Toolbox. Here are the things that are as elections come up, right? These people will put on their Valley Black Talk t-shirts. They would go to these public meetings and debates. And you ask the question first, right? And when you get that 15-minute answer that really doesn't mean anything, then I say, yeah, but, and ask the question again. And when I get an answer that doesn't mean anything, then Mel says, except that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We got Valley Black Talk trainees, concerned citizens all over the room to ask the questions that nobody else knows to ask, and to not let the 15-minute answer candidate get away with not answering the question. If you get it 4 times, one or two things are going to happen. You're either going to eventually answer honestly, or all the rest of us are going to know you don't know what the hell you're talking about. It only takes 15 people.
That would be good, and I wouldn't fight against that. But you know where I would like to spend my time doing is in electing the people that you already know are ready to be in the office. Because to spend your time trying to, we're already behind.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So while we you know talk to folks, and while we're waiting to get them to ask the right questions on, it may take us a couple of years to get people on the right page so that we're ready to move forward. Sometimes we have to orchestrate the piece to get them elected, and then begin to bring the other folks along while these folks help us to lead, because we pick the folks who need to be there, who have the understanding that this is what's going to happen, and now they're soldiers to help us move the whole community. Because if we do it the other way, that's how we've been doing it for years. We get somebody there, and then we try to get the community, and the community's not interested. You know, the people who are in power don't have a strategy to keep these people energized to be a part of it. The job of a person who's elected, especially, and I'm thinking city council in particular right now, their job in the black community is to figure out how to mobilize and energize black people to want to be a part and participate.
But the right person, they have to be running though.
Pardon?
How are you going to get the right person to run? You said you have to.
We normally don't get the right person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, see, that's what we got to do. It's got to be.
You got to be grooming them way in advance, and that takes time, just like gathering up the.
Or you use somebody like me who already knows. Say, let's go pick him, her, and her. Let's bring them in the room. Let's have this come to Jesus meeting. This is the agenda. Can you execute this agenda? If you can, and we feel comfortable that you can do that, okay, now we're going to go out and make sure you get elected.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You gotta you gotta find the people, and even if you have someone in mind, you have to convince that person to do it. I mean, someone like Julia, she's already, I hope I'm not insulting the Jamaicans, but she already does 15 things. Yeah. She already got 15 jobs. Yeah. So how?
And her job is important with the communication piece. So
exactly.
See, one of the things we're missing in our community is communication.
True.
So that has to stay intact. You can't pull from that.
Oh yeah, she was just an example. She ain't going nowhere because we need her here.
You usually got to pick the people that are the busiest. That's the challenge.
Yeah, that you know can carry the job out. But the thing is, how do you convince them this is a contribution that not only you would be good at and that we need you to make? How do we convince people to do that? Especially black folks, because frankly, politics has not treated us that well, and we're very, you know, I understand the apathy.
So let me share with you what, and maybe I shouldn't tip my hand yet, and I won't even share that piece of how we're going to.
So we'll then let's get up the school board and talk about the city council, and we'll talk specifically about District 3. The reason why I want to discuss that is because we have, I don't want to say African Americans running, because we really don't know who's running yet.
Right.
It's not even 2018.
Posturing.
But we
Having
have people.
expressed interest.
Yeah, we have people that have expressed interest. We have community that is engaged and interested in knowing who to choose and who to back for this upcoming 2018 District 3 race. But they're wanting to do a forum and all those things early. My opinion, and maybe I can be wrong, Mel, maybe you need to help to correct me on this. I feel like we're doing it too early. I think that it's because individuals have not signed any papers, have not filed anything, don't even live within the district, and we're talking about who we're choosing to back or be behind.
It does seem early. Now, when did you say they file? In March?
So March 2018, January 2018 is when they even start raising money. We have our community right now, such as B.T. Lewis, for instance. There's a group he and others are forming to specifically be able to weed out the District 3 candidates. And I'm just hearing about this. Notice we haven't been invited. I think that's interesting. But my point is that it's a bit early. Because we haven't filed yet. So I don't want us to put all this work out.
And a whole bunch of stuff could change between now and then.
No, I'm not going to do it.
And some people who have not yet expressed any interest may express interest in December.
Right.
And they will not have been a part of anything that's, been done. Yeah, it does seem a little early. I mean, it's certainly not early to start talking to people, but...
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter? Okay.
Really?
If you
Doesn't
have
seem...
a plan, if you have a commitment for the community, it doesn't matter about who else is doing what. And I'm saying that I'm being a bit selfish, because I do intend to be involved in the election coming up in 2018. And I really don't care who files or what group is trying to pull something together, because I know what they're not going to do. And by knowing that, it really doesn't matter what they do. The thing that they're going to be missing, they're going to try to cover, because that's what they believe is going to be necessary. But nobody's going to be interested in getting down, rolling up their sleeves, and getting to the biggest pool of potential voters. They're going to deal with the pool of folks who vote all the time. So I don't care about them. I don't fight among those.
Okay, so how do you feel about a community creating this forum that's right away? They want
doesn't that seem early for that?
Is that not too early?
If that's what they want to do.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I'm with Julia. It just seems early to me.
I don't even know
That's probably true. But I can show you better than I can tell you, because what I'm talking about is so simple that it sounds impossible. And if it's so simple, how come nobody else has been doing it? Because everybody's been trying to use the model of previous elections. That's why they're not doing it. They're not trying to find new voters and stimulate them to vote. They're saying we want to go to the same pool of people who've been voting all along and see if we can sway enough of them to vote for us. There's this circle, and then this table, sides of this table circle that are out there that are eligible. Nobody wants to get out there and deal with them, because most of the time, people running don't know what's in the toolbox when they get there to be able to tell these people why you should elect me. These are the things I'm going to be able to deliver for you, and know this, that because they know the process, they know what the city council job is, they know what's in what resources are going to be available to them and how they can apply them. Then they will say, okay, well, but most people don't do that. They want to sound good and say, we want to make sure we look out for the community and our children and our taxpayer dollars. That does not motivate the people in the big circle. They don't care about that, because they say, you guys been lying all these years.
Exactly.
Okay, so I guess this is what I'm asking you. Is it possibly a waste of time?
For me, it is. Maybe not for them. Maybe that's something they like to do because they think that's the right. Their heart's in the right place.
When you say they, and we're talking about our black community, because they're the ones that are coming together, doing this forum. Now, Valley Black Talk Radio, I must add. By the way, Valley Black Talk Radio will be doing its own forum like we always do. So if you missed that forum or can't go, we're going to be actually doing a weekly session like we always do to help break it down to people. That's number one. I think what I'm saying is, you have this forum, and are the right players involved that are doing the forum? Is it the blind leading the blind? Are they able to ask the right questions? Do they even know the seat of the city council to be able to understand what to ask? That's my question.
It's a good one.
And so that's what I see when I certain text messages I got. I'm like, oh, the questions that I'm being asked already tells me that there's a lack of understanding of what this forum should be about versus just being who you like because they're black or who you like because they helped you on your fundraiser and gave you money. You know, it shouldn't even be about that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we get stuck.
That's the level of our
community, African American,
our support.
We figure, well, because they're black and they supported my event and they came to my fundraiser, they gave me $200, so therefore that's the person I'm working for.
Yeah, and $200. Ooh, yeah, and I know you're just throwing that out as a figure, but you know, yeah, that is, you could be bought very cheaply then.
Well, that's what I mean.
You know,
we're being bought versus knowing there could be a white person that represents District 3 that might have your
that might be better.
But you'll be so clouded because like, well, this person's black, I'm voting for them. Versus what's going to be right for the black agenda?
Yeah.
What's going to be right for the agenda for District?
And not just my agenda, but the agenda of the you know, I like things in my house to work very well. You know, when I click on my oven, I want it to come on. When I say no soliciting, I want you to go away. But my house is in a neighborhood, and what happens in the neighborhood affects me. And my neighborhood is in a community, and what happens in the community affects me. So whether you meet my immediate needs, to me, should not be the only issue. Do you meet my needs as a neighborhood person, as a community person? I mean, again, I think sometimes we do tend to think kind of small. Did they make me happy in this moment? Oh yeah, then I'm gonna vote for them. Yeah, but what about that stop sign down there where the 3 kids have been hit? Do you care about that stop sign? The person that you're voting for, do they care about that? You know,
versus what's in it for me. In other words, people
yeah,
change it and say,
it shouldn't just be what have you done for me.
That can help my community as a whole.
Exactly.
Well, we got a lot of work to do. I don't think we're there yet, Jewell. I don't think the black community is there yet. I feel like we're still in the me, how about me, which to some degree I feel we have a right to ask, but at the same time, if we don't understand politics, that doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I feel like if we're missing the boat if we're not asking the right questions.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to say it because at the end of the day, they can't do anything about it.
Okay.
You better be concerned about the me, because the me is the way you can get elected. So you have to have something specific to sell to me, because there's enough me's out there to get you elected. If you're not going to do it, now once you get there, that's when you flip and you talk about us and and what we can do. But in order to get there, otherwise you're going to be fishing out of the same bowl as everybody else with these small group of voters. Those folks who are not in this bowl, their question is, what's in it for me?
Well, and I'm saying that as long as that we as the electorate are only concerned about us, I hear what you're saying about the candidate, but as the electorate, if you are only concerned about the confines inside your house and nothing about what goes on in the community around you, we will never, ever get that boot off our neck. We have to work together, and it's not just what can you do for me, the electorate. I mean, when I come to the candidate, I don't want to just know, what can you do for me? I need to know, how are you going to, well, and then I'm saying the rest of us need to be that way.
You don't feel left out or ignored. So you're going to have
No, I do. But what I'm saying is, I need you not just to get my kid to stay in school, right? Because if my neighbor's kid drops out and starts breaking into houses around the neighborhood, I'm affected. So we need to quit thinking about just what can you do for me and think about what can you do for all of West Fresno or District 3 or, you know.
You're the candidate. Would you like to be elected? You're a candidate.
Yeah, of course.
So you don't think that knowing what you know about what is in terms of the voter pool, you don't think that you should have a message that says, I have an answer for you individually?
No, I don't.
You won't be elected, baby.
Well, I might not, but what I would hope is that instead of me saying, look, Mel, I got this charter school over here, and I know I'm going to get your nephew, your grandson, your niece, your daughter into that charter school, so she won't have to go to that school over there. No. My answer is, look, Mel, I'm concerned that the grades the curriculum at your grandson, niece, daughter, nephew school is not serving that school well. You and we are going to fix that school so that you alone aren't taking your child out and going somewhere else, taking dollars out of our community, by the way. No, we're going to fix that school.
All
right, so give me something.
We should have stayed with the city council.
Let's go back to city council. So what would be an issue that would be a me issue that I would address with my councilman?
I ain't finna say. I ain't finna give you guys know if they're paying attention to this, they'll take that and try to use that.
Well, are you running?
Be very, but But I'm going to be very instrumental in making sure that we get enough votes to get whoever we want elected.
Hey, Jewell, you know it's Tula, a row and a hate.
A row and a what? A row and a hate.
Those are Tula, a hoe and a rate.
Yeah. You know we're not going to be. See, why you do that? Make me. And I almost never wear mascara because I cry it on. Yeah. Okay, city council. I'm not.
I just put them back the same with the city council. Julia, I feel like it's premature.
Yeah, I agree. It seems very early to me.
You have people that don't even live in the district that, or who are also a part of this ONME. So to me, I'm like, it's null and void.
But do they have to live in but they don't have to live in the district for city council, do they?
Yeah.
They do.
Oh, they do have to, okay.
Vote,
all right.
you have to live in that district.
No.
She's saying in terms of raising questions and me having concerns.
Do you have to live in the district to run?
No, yes, you do.
Oh, you do, okay.
At the time you sign, you have to reside in the district. You have to have an address in the district.
Okay, so they could say, well, no, I don't live there now, but I'm in the process of moving.
Yeah.
To me, it becomes null and void. I guess I'm a real stickler with things like that.
Me too. Yeah, because
you don't even live there yet. What do you?
Exactly, and you can move in 3 months, but you haven't lived here for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years.
Have issues changed? What issues have changed?
Yes, they have.
You don't know what the issues are because you don't live here.
Thank you.
No.
In your district, Jewell, what might be the issues in your?
Most people know what's going on in
litter, and yeah,
so litter. You're saying litter
everywhere. The garbage cans constantly turned over. A bunch of empty lots that have been taken over by homeless people. Those are the things that I am concerned about in my district. Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing happens in District 3. People that live in North Fresno don't know that.
Maybe you don't have as many empty lots.
Yes, they do. They got more.
No, there's different concerns in District 3.
Yeah.
Different. I don't think that's no.
Oh well.
And the homeless people are not moving that far out either. Are they going way out to? I mean, they were. I'm talking about like on Ventura. The people that were right. They're moving further and further. And I want it to be very clear. I don't have a problem with homeless people per se because I think there's a lot of mental and emotional issues, and people don't have hospitals to go to like we used to, right? So, but my thing is, what is the city doing to deal with it? Well, those people that were on Ventura are moving further and further and further east. So now they're on Kings Canyon. Y'all know where Kings Canyon, Ventura becomes Kings Canyon, right? Now they're on Clovis Avenue. That's way down,
yeah, but they're
right?
also out at the San Joaquin River too.
Okay, well,
So
is that west?
No, that's north.
Okay, right. But I'm saying they're moving toward where it's more populous and where there are businesses and stuff. They're not going out to the rural areas. Yeah. And I mean, something needs to be done about that.
Is that there's going to be just different needs per district. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that an individual.
You kicked me on purpose. I'm calling the police. Let me see.
Who's the one that has to go in the red?
Wait a minute, black man. If I were you, I wouldn't call the police. Because they mistreat us too, but if it comes down to it, you and Linus are the ones in trouble, not us.
First. Really?
It's a shame. We're joking, but it's a shame. I keep hearing about the dreamers and about I don't say illegal aliens because as far as I'm concerned, California is the illegal. This is Mexico. People without documentation, let's say. We keep hearing how frightened they are. If they call the police, maybe ICE will come, and I totally get that. But what I think is sad, a black man can't call the police, right? If you get in a fight with Julia's neighbor who I was hollering at last Friday, and that person does something to you, physically pushes you, shoves you, whatever, and you call the police, you going to jail. And you're only going to jail if you're lucky. You more likely are going to the undertaker. So yes, we're joking, but it's a shame. You wouldn't be able to call the police.
A quick caveat, just so people know, New Mexico was named New Mexico because it was actually a part of Mexico.
Old Mexico, existing.
So all that was part of Mexico before.
Yeah.
Before the war.
Just so you're clear.
Yeah, I want to make sure people are clear on that. Because we keep talking about this illegal immigration.
Yeah.
Ironically, we would be considered illegal.
Exactly. Yeah. If you want to talk about illegal immigration, it's the people in California that is actually Mexico.
California, all that was a part of Mexico. Okay, so back to my point. This forum that's going to be happening. I'm not sure that
we're not invited to.
Yeah.
Even as the media. Yeah.
Interesting. I think it's what I'm concerned about is the blind leading the blind. That's my whole point. Asking the wrong questions. What you gonna do for the black community? To me, that's too general of a question.
Way too general.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what you gonna do to help the black community? This is what the person.
We're gonna cut weaves by 50%.
You said weaves or weeds?
Weaves. Yeah.
Weaves.
Yeah, I said weaves, but a cut on weed would be good too. But of course, you can't get that in Fresno anyway. So.
You're gonna cut their weaves by 50%.
Yeah. You go to your local hairdresser, they'll charge you 50% less for your weave.
Okay.
That's what
I'm saying. Those are the type of questions and answers I feel are going to come up.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have a general understanding of the position,
or
of our what the city council person does, I think it's a blind.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I as you said earlier, I think the intent is good. I mean, it's good to care who's going to be running and to certainly be concerned and involved in current affairs. I think in your community is great. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm not sure this is the time for this particular gathering.
Well, I just want to remind viewers that that hopefully helps you to want to more so tune in to what we're saying, to give you more of a directive approach that will give people more insight to when they're voting and having a better understanding of the positions. I think that's what's most important. What a school board member does. We barely touched on that tonight. And so when you're voting for your school board member, hopefully you're able to look at what we're saying based on what is actualities versus the emotional feelings that we get, and we get emotionally riled up. What you gonna do for black people? Well, what you gonna do for my grandmother that lives over there off of 26, in Atchison or whatever? I think we need to have more of a holistic approach, but understand.
If you're gonna ask about people who are elected, one of the key characteristics that they have to have if they're going to be effective is to be able to persuade their colleagues to see their perspectives.
Great point. Because they have to work with the other people on the board.
You can't count to the majority, nothing happens. You have to be able to count to the majority.
So are you choosing a person? Are you choosing that can work with other individuals? Because your vote is only one.
He says very deep stuff, and he doesn't even realize it. Yeah,
that was very profound.
You not only have to be able to count to the majority, right? To count to however many votes you need, but you have to count to the majority. So you have to be able to work with people. They have to be willing to follow you or to partner with you. You have to matter. You have to count to them. Well, because I wasn't sure what you meant when you said it. Did you mean count this way, or did you mean?
You need to be able to count.
But that's what you said.
Because if you don't count to them, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, you said both, and I'm like, I get. Well, it's his point.
Yeah, that is real.
The way you said it was very profound.
Those are key elements in terms of being a good elected official at whatever capacity. Most people don't use that skill level at an elected position because they look to the administration for guidance. And that's not what their job is. Their job is to be the vision of the community and to come together with your colleagues and come up with a plan to say, Mr. Superintendent or mayor or whomever, this is what we'd like to see happen.
See, and do you think that happens very often. Because what you just said, you have to have the vision. It seems to me that people get elected to positions, local positions, right? And they just they go to the meetings and they vote on the things that are put before them. But do they have any vision? Are they coming up with anything on their own to bring to the body, the board, to say, I think we should do that? Not just I go to all the meetings and I vote on everything they put in front of me. Yeah, but what are you initiating? And I don't think, I don't know, I don't see that.
When you're talking to incumbents who are seeking re-election, that is a very key point that you need to bring to them. What have you done as a representative that you specifically were involved in bringing to the district? Something that we can look at and say your handprint on. Matter of fact, let's go back to the minutes and see the backup information. Usually, when there's some action being taken, they give you backup documentation, and it's usually something supported by whatever evidence comes forward. But it also talks about who is a part of bringing that forward. Most of the time, it's the district. But in some cases, it can be the board saying, this is what our board members saying, this is what I was passionate about, and I was working with the administration, and this was.
That's what I'd like to see.
Those are the kind of things that people can judge you on and say whether or not you were effective, should we send you back? But most of the time, that's not the case. But here's another reason, a very powerful aphrodisiac that keeps folks from thinking like that. California School Board Association, if you're a school board member, they have workshops and trainings throughout the state every year. Usually they're located in places where the climate is nice and there's a lot of activity, things that you can get involved with when you go there. So you want to go to this trip? Well, we maybe can find the money in the budget to send you to this trip so that you can go and be a part of the California School Board Association. But that gives you opportunity now to go down and say it's going to be in San Diego. So you go down there for 3 or 4 days. We'll take care of everything. Your meals are taken care of, your lodging, your travel from there to back. So now you don't want to rock the boat too much because San Diego is pretty nice. And man, when is the next one? Well, superintendent said, we'll see what we can work out for you. We can see if we can
you're saying like the superintendent has a say or decides.
Well, no, he doesn't have a say, but he's very influential in saying.
And who gets to go?
Yeah, because he can see if you don't understand budgets, he'll tell you everybody can't go. We only can send one person or 2 persons because our budget went on. Well, at the end of the day, you control the budget. Board? What do you mean we can't? Well, let's just, get rid of your deputy. Now, we got plenty of money right now. We got money now.
Or the board could say, we have more than enough money for everybody to go. We just paid $325,000 to hire this so-and-so consulting firm.
Of course. But I'm saying the power is with the board. But most of those folks don't know that because they don't understand budgets. And we don't understand. One of the most important aspects of your job as a board member is to understand the money. If you understand the money, you're always going to be relevant. If you don't understand the budget, then you're only irrelevant as far as what they need you for a photo op.
And that begs another question. Well, I guess then that would just be too difficult because you would extrapolate. It would have to go for other other elections too. But we probably need to think about that. Maybe there should be specific seats for board members. I mean, regardless of which district you come from, right? And not just school board, but city council, Fresno County. Let's say there's 4 board members. One has to be an educator, whether they're an instructor in the classroom or an administrator, or for that matter, a classified person. One has to be in education. One has to be an accountant. Again, doesn't matter which district they come from, as long as they're. So maybe you have 3 accountants running from one district, but one's got to be an educator, one's got to be an accountant. Maybe one has to be in healthcare, and one has to be just Joe Blow off the street, working man or woman. I know I'm dreaming here, and that probably, wouldn't, but I'm just saying, when you think about it, a corporation, and cities and schools are not corporations, I get that. But you have the person over human resources, you have the person over budget, you have the person over operations, but with city council, I mean, you could get 4 accountants running for city council, right? Or 8 accountants, and you elect 4, and then you got all these people that are accountants, but nobody who's got any organizational skills necessarily, nobody who knows about education necessarily. Now, wouldn't it be great if on any kind of, government type thing, you had a breakdown? And
usually that it happens on the electoral side. When folks are running, they use that as one of their selling points of why they're running for the board. This is what I'm bringing to the table.
Right, but what if you got 4 people who are all in education?
Okay, well,
then you don't have an accountant, you don't have a, I'm just saying you.
That's not, well, then someone who has that fiscal capability should run, because they can show that the reason why I'm running is because of this. And
I know.
This is what I'm bringing to the table, but
I'm just saying, if it were required, in Melodyville, well, in Jewellville, I'm gonna think about that. I might amend our law so that if you're running, so that any board of any kind, public, whether it's city council or county supervisor or
3 of those elements already on the board.
Oh, that's fine. And you're just running to fill 1 seat?
Well, no, you're still having, it's always going to be, in most elections, 4 seats up or 3 seats up.
Okay.
So
and as
what you're asking about, having folks from those fields like accountants or management, whatever, have already, you already got 3 of those on the board. That means that if you have those skills, you can't run, even though there's an election in your area?
Yeah, exactly. We already have an accountant, we already have a lawyer, we already have an educator. Yeah. All we need now, the seat that is currently open, whoever runs for that. Okay, let's say there's 2 seats. What I'm saying is, you have 4 professions, let's say. Or if you have 5 seats, you have 5 professions. You figure out what the other one's going to be. Maybe you have to be in healthcare. But when that seat is filled, when we already have someone on the board in healthcare, whoever is running next, you have to fill one of these other, you have to come from one of these other fields, whether it's law or education or,
is if in Jewellville, when people are seeking office, not as of law, but as of you're insisting that this is the balance we need, voters. This is the balance we need, voters. You have to instill that in the voters' observation of who they need to vote for.
Excuse me. This is Jewellville. I run it. I can make that happen. Well, I can say, excuse me, Mr. Lawyer, we already have a lawyer on the board, so even though you want to run for that empty seat, no.
So I'm going to sue you because this is democracy and I have a right to run.
It's not a democracy.
Oh.
As my mother would say,
it's not a democracy.
Jewellville is a benevolent dictatorship. That's what Jewellville is.
Moving on. We didn't get to the national. I mean, I'll have to hit these national stories, I guess, in the next time.
Are we done already?
We're past the time.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all ain't ready to leave, huh? Y'all ready to go?
We're probably not ready to go. But I guess my point was with the forum, I think if we hold off, I know we're trying to pick the African-American candidate to run behind, but until a person files, anything can happen between now and March.
Long time away.
It's true on one half, but in another sense, I can see the advantage of doing that, so that you don't have a lot of competition, a lot of people who are running that don't need to run.
Okay.
They're trying to weed that out early so that there's serious contenders going to be there later.
But you can't keep them from running, though.
Serious or not, I mean, anything can happen to you.
You can tell. You interview with some folks. You sit down with some folks. You can tell whether or not that person understands the bigger picture and whether or not they're going to follow through and be in the game.
Shouldn't they still know the right questions to ask?
Of course. Without a doubt. You need to have that. But
well, also, that doesn't mean they're not going to run. Like, okay, whatever, let's say you invite 4 people to speak, and 2 of them, the group feels,
everybody saying, man, what you running for?
Yeah, but that's just those people. When the race actually starts, they're going to be running for,
Right.
Right. I mean, it's not like you can stop them.
Other people I don't think that are going to be invited that are talking about running, but they're going to wait till it's the filing date. So they wouldn't be at that farm.
Yeah. So then you don't get to hear those two people, and they could be great and they could be awful.
Right.
So why have a forum now?
I just wish, I don't know, I guess you'll just have to tune into Valley Black Talk Radio to watch that part. Any other local news that we missed? I know that, let's see.
What tells you that the people who are trying to conduct this don't know what they're doing, and I'm not trying to be all that in a bowl of grits, they ain't talking to me.
Yeah, I have to say that.
And a guy that's done it 20 years, you would think, well, maybe he's got some value to some knowledge about being, especially under the circumstances that I serve. So I've been tried by the fire. So you don't want to talk to me? Oh, okay.
By the way, he's been through from Baypack fire. We can go down the list.
Yeah, I was going to say he may not claim
everything
his singing talent, which is actually very good, but he'll tell you in a minute. If you in politics and you ain't talking to me,
what are you?
You just talking.
In fact, even in the NAACP, the political.
Yeah.
Actually,
there we go. Because he always corrects me on that when I screw that up.
Yeah.
He doesn't correct me on the whole and the rate. He'll correct me on the political action committee. That's what he said.
The row and the hake.
Whatever I said before, that was fine.
It's time to go, y'all. She just won't quit. She gonna say it again.
I ain't gonna say it again. So aren't you glad to have us back in the air? We're glad that we're so sorry we didn't accept any calls in the air. I mean, we would have if you would have called, but we really didn't.
We had so much to talk about. We was
we were.
But we would have taken the call. The number was on the screen.
And I'd love to hear from some of them folks that thought what I had to say was a little too stern and really self-serving. Well, let's sit down and talk.
Okay. Fair enough. And we hope we'll have to go over these national news items. We'll go over these another time and back next week. Because it's very interesting for us to know about where the African Americans are.
And we want to talk about South Valley. There was a very interesting situation happening down there with the city council.
Why don't you talk? Are you going to talk about that now?
No, we'll do it next time.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll do it next time because we're exactly 20 minutes over. But we hope that you enjoyed this edition of Valley Black Talk Radio.
And y'all know you're not supposed to be engaging with football, right?
Yeah.
We'll get more into that next time. But yeah.
I watch college football. That's all right.
You watch who?
College football.
So we talked about
that's probably okay.
I don't want them professional guys because the game, and it's really coming out now with all of these quarterback injuries and all these subpar quarterbacks they catch it, and you can't pick up this man who went to the Super Bowl and went to the playoffs with his team, and he's not qualified to. Yeah, okay, he's not blackballed.
Time out for the NFL.
Time out. You know what this means, NFL? Yeah. See this right here? That's what you know this means.
And I'm not going to show you the sign I would use.
I don't know if yours would be a timeout. Let's see. Nope. No. So you'll have to come back and join us next week. You're going to have to because there's so much fun that we're having here. You got to join us and definitely call in. We'll take your call next time. I promise. We'll take your calls. But we thank you for watching this edition of Valley Black Talk Radio on the ONME Network. Guess what? You can watch a rebroadcast of this on the ONME Network. You should download the free app. You can get it from your iTunes store if you have an Apple phone. If you have an iPhone that has Apple, iTunes, whatever on it, and Android, you can just go to app.omni.tv and download that.
And luckily, it's totally free. Because if you have an iPhone, you couldn't afford it if we did charge you anything. If you got an iPhone, so we are free because it's that important.
It's that important for you to get the information. And so we're coming up upon election season. We're going to be coming out with more info. Thank you for watching this edition of Valley Black Talk Radio. We'll see you next Sunday.
Ciao.
Ciao, Malau.